Hey,
Craig.
Here he is.
Craig has a plan.
This isn't like plan related, but I was reading up the other night, and Patrick, would you say that when we next level up is when fish might get access to the symbolist cantrip?
Yeah, so that's actually a choice you'll make next time you level up. Is because I've separated the like spell mechanics from the class mechanics. You can choose to like have your next level up be in Hedge Mage, which would give you the like abilities upgrade or a new feat or something like that, and then spend your magic points to like learn symbol stuff. Or you could take your next level in Symbolist, and you get bunch of like free symbols and like things that make symbols a little bit easier. But then you kind of put a pause on your Hedge Mage for at least a level. So yeah, that's kind of a choice that you'll have going forward. And I don't think I need to. I don't think this is actually a spoiler. I think this makes perfect sense. Next time your level up is once you finish this arc. So
wow.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I was reading up on
if you want
thaumaturgy. It sounds super fucking cool.
Mm-hmm. No, and fish will be able to do a lot of things with that. What else was I going to say? Oh yeah, and another thing, most people, if you're sticking with your same class, you're going to be reaching level 4, which gives you 3 major kind of options what to do. Level 4 in the same class doesn't give you like new features necessarily. What it does is you can choose one of your ability scores and increase it by 2. So if you want to go from like strength 12 to strength 14 or something like that, you do that. That is always enough to get you your modifier up by at least 1. So like +1 to +2 or whatever. Or you can choose 2 ability scores and increase them each by 1, which kind of depending on how the math works, you can get 2 of those scores up 1 modifier, or get one like a little bit closer for like a level requirement for something like that. And then the third option is feats. And a feat is a new special ability. Not that. Also, you have crap all over your feet.
They're seasoned.
You can. Most of them include at least +1 to 1 like specific ability score, so you still kind of get the benefit of that. But then the feats will like give you a proficiency in something new, or like expertise in something, or like new cool special ability, or like new combat stuff, or things like that. Everything from like, hey, I want to be able to wear heavier armor, to hey, I want to be like able to use firearms well, to like things like, oh, I like don't need to sleep anymore, things like that. And I took the feats that are standard in 5th edition, and I added a bunch of homebrew ones, so the amount is almost doubled. I was just having this conversation with Harry, where he was getting choice paralysis about the feats he was choosing, because I said like, yes, there are 6 pages of feats. So I'm telling you now because I think that's a really cool option to do. Obviously not something you have to do on level up, but if you want to look through the feats and be like, oh, this one seems kind of interesting to me, that's really good.
Would the feats be in so we wouldn't do the point things?
So you would either do the 2 points in 1, 1 point in 2, or a feat which almost all of them have 1 point in 1 in addition to whatever cool ability you get.
Gotcha.
So just like as an example, let me just randomly open our document to somewhere.
You're the scrolling.
Scroll, 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 scroll.
Okay, Noodle just looks photogenic, but when I try to take a photo of him, he's not.
Love that.
Of course.
But just, trust me, he's, cute today.
It's looking cute right now.
Patrick and I are trying to steal cats.
That is true. We just happened to see a cat wearing a collar in front of a library that was closed for the day as we were driving past for something this weekend. And we were like, oh, maybe they're lost. And they were hungry, and we hung out with them and some other cats that were in the area for a little while. And then there's a library that's right next to a park. And sorry, distracted. It's a library right next to a park.
We're looking at, yeah.
A lot of homeless people that stay in the area because, you can sleep in the park and then you can go to the library during the day and like hold down a job or whatever. And there was just a guy who came over. It's like, hey, you looking for somebody? And we're like, oh, we were actually just like looking at the cats, like trying to figure out if they were owned. Some of them seem hungry. One of them looks like they just gave birth to kittens, things like that. And he was like, oh, okay, cool. Here's all the details of their situation because I'm like from this area. It's like these cats are technically owned by this woman who lives behind the house here, but it's kind of like a hoarder situation. So like she can't really take care of them, and like these cats are never fixed, so they're having new kittens all the time. And the librarians here are getting really pissed off because like the kittens are like living on library property, like hidden in their dumpsters and stuff. And they're like talking to animal control. They're like too young to separate from their parents and stuff like that. And we're like, oh, okay. We accidentally stumbled into like a rescue situation. So we may be like getting these kittens.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we already know what we're going to call it. Swift Rabbit.
Yeah.
My little baby.
Yeah, I'll just pick one of these feats at random. Empathic. Increase your wisdom score by 1. You gain proficiency in the insight skill. If you are already proficient in the skill, you add double your proficiency bonus to checks made with it. You can use your action to try to get uncanny insight about one humanoid you can see within 30 feet of you. Make an insight check contested by the target's deception check. If your check succeeds, you have advantage on attack rolls and ability checks against the target until the end of your next turn. So you can use like empathy to like figure out where they're gonna move in battle next. Or
me crying, he's going left.
He's going left. Or Master of Disguise. Increase your charisma by 1. You gain proficiency with the disguise kit. If you spend 1 hour observing a creature, you can then spend 8 hours crafting a disguise you can quickly don to mimic that creature. Yeah. Medic, you get much better like healing with healer's kit. Things that like let you re-roll like saving throws. Things that like increase your speed. You can get really good at like specific types of weapons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, tons of shit. And it's all really cool.
Yay! We gotta do one of those. Also,
and one thing that'll come up when we actually get to that point, I mildly changed how firearms work in this game after I made the document. So there are 4 feats that have to do with guns. Those are changed slightly. So if you want to like get better with guns or get proficiency with guns or something like that, just let me know and I'll tell you what the actual thing is supposed to be. Okay. So we are starting. Oh, right. First things first. I tried to have our recording YouTube kind of like a private channel where we can all join and just see it and yada, yada, yada. But that's not really a function YouTube has anymore. Instead, you make individual videos private, which means I would have to send you links for each individual recording.
Yeah.
So that became really troublesome, and I thought not worth it. So I just kind of made it a public channel just on the assumption that no one else would ever find it. I just wanted to check in with you guys and make sure you're okay with, recordings potentially being seen by other people. The benefit is that, of course, now you can access it from other computers without having to sign in or find the links I sent you and stuff like that. Pretty low chance anyone else is ever going to see it, but...
Let's edit out anything that would get me canceled.
Yeah. I will say I very purposefully once I made it public, made it so that none of your names are in like the description or anything like that, so they can't technically be tied back to you.
I should change my profile picture. I'm the only one that
I
has
think that people are really hunting you down, but yeah. And it's just what I can recommend is like internet safety these days. You never know when somebody decides that you're fucking worth doxing just because you mentioned Raylo once.
Yeah, but I just wanted to bring that up and be like, is that okay with everybody? Should I try to set up more security around it so it is entirely private? What do you guys think?
I think that's
Good for me.
I'm totally comfortable with, public. It's fine.
I also am. Honestly, have not been on as safe on the internet as I should be. And I've said a lot of cancelable things, and I haven't gotten canceled yet.
That tracks for you, Vanna, yes.
Okay, one bad thing about Taylor Swift, we're over.
I'm dead. Yeah, they're all gonna come for me.
Our channel's gonna be deleted.
Mads, what do you think?
Oh, I'm good.
Okay.
I doubt anyone will ever find it.
Yeah. Well, another benefit about having it be public, you can smash that subscribe button and ding the bell. And
I'm already subscribed.
Yeah, every time I see it, like one, and I'm like, that's me, bitch.
Yeah.
Patrick wants sponsors.
Today's session is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. You can actually do notifications to like see when I upload stuff because I kind of stopped making posts about it. I just do it when I get the opportunity to. And then for game-related stuff, I wanted to ask, you all met up with Sarah and then rushed out the door. Did you bring Swifty with you, or is she at home?
Cal definitely didn't.
I feel like she's left at home.
Okay. And that is kind of the pros and cons. On the one hand, Swifty did, kind of hear things maybe that can potentially be like a witness or get you some evidence if you confront Martin. On the other hand, she's an incredibly small kitten and therefore in a lot of danger if you're going to take her anywhere. So that's kind of the problem.
Just like imagine we were like, oh yeah, well, tell it to the fucking kitten.
Yeah, and Fish is like, well, I'm the only one who can understand what she's saying, so...
Well, Kekano also, Kekano is sliding behind Fish. Fish is not currently holding him.
Take your daughter to work day.
Life comes at you fast.
But yeah, if you wanted to bring her, go for it. I think you probably didn't, but I just wanted to clarify for relevance in future scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody have any strong opinions? Cal definitely says no.
I feel she's left behind in fear of her getting squashed, and also it was pretty sudden. We just, she's on the floor somewhere.
Incredibly
Fish has already forgotten about her.
Yeah.
my brain is like
more than a couple minutes.
She's this big, gonna get squashed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Metal's probably begin the session. Metal's probably what?
I was gonna say Metal probably didn't forget. She probably gave her to someone.
Chris.
I'm different.
You made sure she was comfortable. Yes. So, the party has now confronted the Ghost Eater at least twice, having first been attacked on the road by the Ghost Eater, seemingly, as well as some wolves that, based on things you read afterwards, may have been under its control or tied with it in some way. You also went to meet Tenna Whitecalf in town to try to discover more things, find out if people in that area have been having nightmares, things like that, and discovered her house and slash museum seemingly emptied, as if she took a trip. Things missing, her car missing, things like that, and. But once you searched deeper in, you found that no, this was probably some sort of ruse, some sort of cover, because it does seem like something serious happened in this house, and that is how you found Swifty. And when Caligulus was able to examine the scene later that night, she found that there had been a murder of some person. Seemingly by mortal or at least physical means in the time previously, at least a day before Tenna disappeared or went on her trip. And through that, you knew that something was afoot. Maybe this was related, maybe it wasn't, but you needed to discover what was happening. You managed to find some symbol magic that Fish and Cal kind of taught themselves, that they managed to use to great success that night to fight off the Ghost Eater as it tried to invade the home they were staying in with Chris. Unfortunately, it could not protect you from the nightmares that are endemic to sleeping sort of in the presence of the Ghost Eater. And that is what you all suffered for. You also caught your first glimpse of the creature, seemingly tall. You remember some slender arms as well as burning emerald eyes. And you now know, based on the book you recovered from Tenna, that it is seemingly a Wintico. It is a spirit of hunger. And how that exactly relates to kind of what's been happening is not necessarily clear to you at this point, although you did have some theories. Those theories led you to believe that it was possible that Professor Martin Greer was involved in this some way. He was the last appointment that Tenna had, although still a little bit of a ways before she seemingly died. And it was not unusual for her to have appointments that were not written down in that schedule planner, but he seems to have been around, perhaps involved with that, maybe as a witness, maybe as a culprit. As you sort of got this information and realized that perhaps it would be a good idea to confront him, you found Sarah Longfisher trying to still get a handle on the emergencies that were happening. And once Fish had told her that they thought that Martin was responsible for Tenna's death, she grabbed her rifle and started heading out with all of you following behind. And that is where we open now, with Sarah charging towards Martin's house. You don't know where he lives, so or where he's renting rather, so you don't know how quickly she's going to get there and probably start killing him. So you have caught up with Sarah, but you have perhaps a short window to convince her to go along with some clever plan or plot or something else, rather than just breaking down Martin's door and beating his ass. and that is where we will start today.
Oh boy.
Polygamous, upon catching up to Sarah, casts. We're gonna say Darkness does the same kind of move. Is it Darkness or is it a different one? I have too many spells that are all the fucking same. Yeah, but Darkness. And kind of traps the group into a little dark cube. Doesn't quite lay hands on Sarah, but he's like kind of in her bubble in a way that I think you'd physically feel, especially when your senses are heightened by the lack of sight, and is like...
To clarify, this is a public street.
It's just dark in that little puddle.
And then all of a sudden, like a perfect unnatural cube of sheer darkness comes up all around you. All of you are blinded and you cannot see. You do, however, hear Sarah kind of stop and then try to kind of like push her way through, like she's trying to get out of it. You know, can't see where she's going anymore, so her speed is severely slowed, but unless you're going to say something to her, you're probably not going to really stop her. But she's just like, hey, Snoop, what the hell is this?
Longfisher. Stop.
What?
He knows you. He knows myself. He knows that we are both hostile to him. He's not going to be in a mood to talk. I am perfectly happy to allow you to do whatever you need to with violence once we have had a conversation with him, but I believe that needs to be secondary to some form of verbal interrogation.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage, because she
homies are here.
cannot walk away from you currently, so she kind of has to listen to you in a way that Sarah is probably not used to doing.
What kind of check did you say this was again?
Persuasion.
Persuasion.
So that's gonna be a 15.
You can't see her, and so it is, though you can sense that she's still there. And it gets very quiet for a moment, and then you just hear, fine, what did you have in mind?
I think one of them should probably speak to the mortal. Points at Isle, who I think she knows where everybody is, and she can't read facial shapes, but I think because it's her darkness, she can probably be like, I know where everyone is.
Yeah.
She points to Isle and says,
she doesn't know where everyone is, but because she cast the spell, she was ready for it, so she has a memory of standing, and can, vaguely know, like, okay, Isle is like behind and to the right of me.
No, that's going to be an issue because Fish has been just wandering blindly.
At some point, Fish is like wandering out, hits Cal on the arm, and Cal just is like pat on the wrist, like, I'm here, you found me.
Okay, and that would be enough, and they'd stop and just stay there.
And she says,
Isle says
metal. She says, not you, and then says...
Isle says, I understand. I know I'm the muscle.
You can be the team with Sarah and I. Do you either of you want to volunteer? Do you either of you feel like you could particularly be persuasive to this mortal?
Metal, you're really, nice and disarming.
I think I can do that part. I think I can definitely disarm. I think if we go under, like a fake pretense, maybe just asking casually about things. Somehow we have to get him to confess without, I guess, trying to kill us maybe before
I
Sarah
don't.
can come in.
Is he
How
the
about-
type to go straight for the kill?
It's hard
have
to say.
difficulty believing that.
Okay, we know that this guy has, I want to say an unhealthy interest in the clan. We could come in with a ruse and say, "Hey, actually, turns out we do want you for XYZ." We just gain his trust, and then be like, "All right, where were you on the night of whatever and whatever?"
I can turn into a cougar and stare at him.
That could definitely be a backup
B-team.
option.
I like that cougar thing. Let's keep that in our back pocket.
We will be violent. We just need to not be violent first. Is there
You're right.
anything of... You said you have a definite connection between him and Tenna. Is there anything that you can use to corner him into answering some sort of hard proof or question that would be very easy for him to accidentally say too much about?
Give me an intelligence check, Cal.
Me? Oh, okay.
This is a Vienna question. Do we know
Yeah.
that he's in the hotel? Did we figure
Yeah.
that out?
He is not in the hotel. From what you've heard from Sarah and Gertrude, he's like renting a house in town.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's been here for a little while. There was actually no conversation that said this, but you would have probably picked this up from osmosis, just being around these people. He actually came to town for a little while, left, and then came back like several months later, and now he's been in town for like 2 weeks, and that's the time that's really been bugging the shit out of the clan.
Dumb question. When you said intelligence check, that's going to be like the columns here and not the saving throw box, like these
Yes,
guys?
exactly.
Oh, all right, then that's a hot 6.
A hot 6. Okay.
She's so smart. I love her.
Yeah. You don't really get a read enough on Martin to be able to say of like, oh, he definitely, you can trap him this way. You can definitely kind of back him into this verbal corner. You have like some circumstantial evidence, and maybe the interrogation is more about finding more evidence than being able to like directly confront him, possibly. But yeah, that's what you get with a hot 6.
Sarah.
Kyle says seduction. Got it.
Plan C. Plan C.
So we
Sarah.
would beat him up, and then she just beat him up, and then sit, and then
We
just
can
like
reorder it.
Right, it just lets that sentence trail off.
I mean, word for fish, so what was that?
Sarah, do you know the cops in this town? Like, do you think they would be willing to turn a blind eye to us doing some shit?
It depends. The cops around here kind of know the clan. Know that they don't know necessarily about magic, but they know not about magic. If that makes sense, it's like a thing of like, hey, weird stuff is happening. Let the clan handle it. I'm going to pretend I didn't see that. So, we got a little bit of leeway, just kind of like, being the big dicks around here. But, if we kill him and drag him out of the house, we'd have to hide it. But if we just found out there was something spooky going on that was definitely him, or, maybe some mild bodily harm, I think we could probably swing that,
No killing. I think that's a good guide to go on.
No killing yet.
No killing.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I will commit to no killing yet. Hey, Spooks, this would probably be an easier conversation if we could see. Is that okay?
Yeah, also, weren't we in the street?
Yes.
It happens. The lights may have indicated. I just
It is
want to
like
make sure
9
nobody's
in the
sprinting.
It's like the highest of the sun.
It is too bright, anyways. I'm sure people will be relieved that they do not have to shield their eyes with those strange glasses.
So cute.
Can I trust nobody to start sprinting?
I
I'll-
think that's aimed at me, and yes, fine.
She drops the spell.
There are a number of people who were on the street just staring at this cube of darkness, and all of them see you and Sarah now appear, and Sarah makes eye contact with a couple of them. I was like, what? What's up? And all of them go, not my business, and immediately turn and start walking away. Like, this was a very, very public show of magic, and you are now getting even more of the sense that, like, yeah, most people in this town seem to understand what magic is and really wish that they didn't and try to ignore it as much as humanly possible.
Okay, cool. So where is this guy at even?
He is kind of like on the other side of town, like maybe 5 minutes from here. He's got a shitty little place that he rented from the Broken Arms. So,
Okay. Concept. We go there, we block off all the exits after we make sure that he's definitely in there, and then just kind of hang out outside and figure out our next move and then go in. But whatever we do, we're not letting him get away.
I found him out in the woods, kind of around Clanlands a couple times. I think Spooks, you ran into him too and brought him to town. Yeah, I don't think he's particularly sneaky or able to like get away. At least not from what I've seen. But in general, yeah, no, that sounds good.
Metal's like, okay, so what if B team stays outside? A team, I guess. We could pretend like we're going, door to door.
We're census takers.
That's a good one.
Has he seen you two? I know I spoke to him. Did any of you? And so did Sarah.
I don't remember what this guy looks like.
It doesn't mean he doesn't remember what you look like. You are pretty distinct. I will have to be honest.
Thank you, so are you.
We could go door to door. We could be census takers, and we could be just like asking about, like the nightmares people have been having, and then we could be like, oh my gosh, wait, I know you. You're that guy who's asking all of these questions about the clan and stuff. That's so interesting. What if we just get him talking about his work, and then if he's like into that, he might accidentally mess up, say something.
And Metal, you won the flowers thing, so maybe you could come in like, hey, I noticed that you wanted to know some stuff. I know some stuff. And then I can just be there for credit.
Backup. Yeah.
Are we sure we just don't want to pretend to be cops?
Do you have a way to pretend to be a cop?
I can make a way to pretend to be a cop.
Maybe Isle comes in with Plan D, and she knocks on the door as a cop.
Okay.
She's gonna weekend at Bernie's this cop corpse.
I just want to make sure we're all on the same page here. All right, so like A team, we got Metal, and we got Fish like talking at the door. B team, I'm there with the cleric, just kind of keeping an eye on things. C team, we got a cougar and then D-team the cougar becomes a cop.
Yeah,
With
Yeah,
this
Yeah,
says,
pretty
that's
good.
exactly it. You got it.
if we would add a
The first sentence Isle says
team.
to Sarah, yeah.
She says, if you take him out of his room, I can probably enter and do an investigation there without being seen.
Yeah, we'll keep him at the door. You guys sneak in and find the shady shit that he's hiding.
That is another plan idea
You could
that I
take.
like.
She says, I am respectable at coming in with magic. However, if you take him further from the door to perhaps get him some of the flatbreads you had, I would be able to do a more thorough investigation.
I
We'll
will say
take him
it's
out for breakfast.
a small place. But there is like a back window, so that could work.
Maybe we could just talk about if we get on the conversation of the flowers and the things that I was doing. Maybe I can be like, yeah, there's more this way. Follow me. Maybe we could do that.
Sarah, do I have your permission to just make some shit up about you guys?
I don't really see how that's different from what you're doing most of the time. So yeah, sure, whatever.
I'm trying to be respectful. Come on. Anyway.
I believe this is the closest we will get to a plan until we are able to gather more information, so I believe we should move forward.
Agreed.
Yeah, let's get his ass.
Yeah, let's get his ass. All right.
Where's my
Follow me,
son?
I guess. And she just kind of turns and keeps heading down the street at less of a ferocious pace. And as you go, you sort of enter more of the main stretch of the town. You go past kind of the main street. You see the municipal building where the library is. You see the bar where you got food last night. You know that the doctor also said that he was in this area, but it's really, really small area. Almost immediately you get through town and you're in more of a residential area. You actually see the turnoff. You don't literally walk past Tenna's house, but you walk pretty close to it. And then the houses get a little smaller and a little more spread out. And you stop at a street, and Tenna and Sarah points to a very small little bungalow on one side of the street, a little bit overgrown with some vines, paint's peeling a little bit, not in the best condition, and fairly small. But she points it out to you, and she's like, there he is. So
I know this is a bad time.
Isle's just like putting rocks in her pocket, ready to throw them through the windows.
I know this is a bad time, and I'm very sorry, but can me Inc. just have like a second? Because I've got some shit to take care of, such as Nerdle climbing the shelves.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
go for it.
Thank you.
I was really worried you were doing that in character, and Fish was like, "Sarah, we need to talk," and I was like, "Tal's going to kick
Not
your
the
ass,"
time.
basically.
yeah,
I'm gonna
Cal's
use
gonna
the
move
restroom.
Back in a sec.
I lost track of our plans. I was going to try and write them down, but I don't even remember where seduction goes. Was that plan C? I don't remember.
Seduction was the original plan D, and then
Well, now it's
and
cop. I don't know.
and nobody liked that, and so plan D became pretend to be a cop.
Or cop.
Plan A is census takers. I feel like I'm going to have to roll some serious dice very shortly, and I'm afraid. I'm just going to test
like
them.
a bad plan, but like I don't think they have the ability to come up with a better one. So we just have to really pray the dice are going to help us today.
That's why
Listen.
Fish is going with metal, okay?
Yeah.
That's
sometimes the difference between a good plan and a bad plan is commitment. So,
it's
just gotta go for it.
It's like in the D&D movie where their whole plan was wait for the guy with wings to get there so they could use him to jump out the window. That's what we're doing right now. Jonathan. God.
My sister is watching it right now.
Oh, bless.
But in the movie, that's also a warning about players getting too into their elaborate, crazy plan and ignoring things that are happening outside of it. Because if you'll recall, they were like, it worked. You convinced us to let you go. You didn't have to escape, but you grabbed Jonathan anyway.
The name Jonathan is a D&D name itself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Jonathan.
4. Not good.
My apologies for that.
Oh,
Also, like, there's noises still happening at my building, and that's kind of fucking with my head. Also, like, how can I be Fish? Fish isn't having to deal with that anyway.
Take a break, man. I also like Fish is probably in a weird headspace anyway, so
yeah, there's a bit going on.
you can lean on Calidinus. We're besties now.
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
I will also say that just based on kind of passive insight, what you've seen going on with Sarah so far is that she seems to be kind of focused on this Martin situation and purposefully not paying any special attention to you. But you can see that she is kind of like seemingly purposely not making eye contact with you, just kind of like addressing the others. It's very much like things are still awkward, but I'm ignoring it for now.
Gotta do it.
Yep. And Fish is gonna do what they do best, which is not confront the problem.
Yay!
Anyway, I hope that's not too bad. Sorry.
It's
So,
okay.
as we're kind of approaching, I think Hal's just keeping an eye out to make sure she's out of eyesight of Martin in case he's like looking out the window, walking out the door, kind of stuff.
We'll handle all that once Vienna gets back.
This is our soundtrack.
Yeah. It's the ghost data just going. Yeah.
Puppy.
Yeah.
Isle has transformed into a dog.
This is her terrier form.
Plan F.
Yep.
Plan F is puppy. F for puppy.
Just distraction, you know?
Buffy.
My
Okay.
cat.
As you get to the street, you're still kind of at the end of it. Sarah has pointed out the house to you, but you're not particularly close to it, so you don't have to worry really about being seen yet. Sarah just turns to Metal and Fish, looks at Metal, looks at Fish, quickly looks away from Fish, looks at Metal again, and it's just kind of like, well, good luck, and just kind of points with her head for Cal and Isle to follow her, and she starts kind of like walking off into another street, and as she takes Cal and Isle aside, she's just kind of like, so you want to like break in, so I guess you take the back, and I'll just kind of like take the front and keep a eye on the house, pats a rifle, and yeah, I guess skyscraper, you want to like hold down the end of the street, or like, I don't know, find a cop costume or something.
Think about it.
I'll kind of just like wordlessly, I guess, creeps around to the back of the house so she can keep an eye, I guess, see through any windows to see what's going on, I guess.
Okay. Sarah is going to go around, and you can see her kind of like post up in somebody's yard, like one street over, and it gives her kind of a clear view of Martin's kind of front door and front window without keeping her kind of in sight, and just kind of leaning with her rifle there. So, she can shoot him if she wants, but she's mostly keeping an eye on things. The actual owner of the house comes out and is like, and she's just
Al
like,
notices the guy being like, nods, waits for him to like turn around, and then cast Pass Without Trace on herself, Sarah, and Isle.
yeah, you can absolutely see Sarah have this like quick conversation of a guy being like, "What the fuck are you? Oh, hey Sarah, what's up?"
Sarah standing with a gun in your yard is normal.
Yeah, no, it's abnormal in the way that is okay for the clan to do. That you're kind of used to. So yeah, Sarah is kind of unbothered. So Calvin's Pass Without Trace. Everybody.
Well, before that, Fish picks up Kekano and goes, "Go be with Denier and the others."
Kobe.
So yeah, so if Kekano should be under the spell, that's just why I've said that.
Okay, cool, yeah.
Isle has grabbed Kekano. Isle like waits till like Fish can't see, and then grabs Kekano and like puts him on her head.
To clarify how Pass Without Trace works, it's kind of only active when you're trying to be stealthy. So both the Fish and Metal can kind of like have it active on them, and as long as they're not trying to hide, normal people won't kind of notice it. It's kind of like you've got shadows and they're like hiding in the folds of your clothes or something like that, and they'll wrap around you if you try to like sneak somewhere. But if you're just trying to be out in the open, nobody notices anything weird about it. So if you want to be affected by that spell and kind of keep it in your back pocket in case you need to be stealthy, you can. So everybody gets +10 to any stealth checks they make for as long as Cal holds concentration, and I think that spell is for an hour.
But we're not talking to him for an hour.
No, concentration up to 1 hour.
Okay.
Nice.
So Cal will have to be careful about like not getting injured or kind of distracted in a way that loses her concentration on the spell. But even if you go kind of like farther away from her, you don't like lose the ability after it's been cast on you. So even if you go to like a secondary location with Martin, you'll still be able to stealth potentially. Okay, so 2 of you are heading up to the front door, and the other 2 are sneaking around to the back. Isle wanted to get close enough to see in the windows. What about Cal? Kind of how close or far is she from the house?
I think she is intending at some point to slip in through a window or enter from someone else's apartment and kind of come in that way, slip through an open door. So she's just kind of casing the joint. I think probably falling behind, if anything, Metal and Fish, basically just figuring out where the entry point is from them, knowing that the pack was being pretty fully monitored by.
Isle and Cal each give me a stealth check. And then I will say Metal and Fish each give me a perception check, just kind of check out the house, see how it is. And because Cal is kind of shadowing you, she will also get that information based on what you roll.
24 for me.
19.
24 and 19.
Fish does not have their brain on this morning. That's a 7 from me.
I got an 11.
Okay.
Hey,
Do they not get
flippies.
+10?
No, that's because they're not doing stealth.
That's just perception. With a 7 and 11, you see that it's not an apartment. It's just a small house, kind of a prefab house. So there's a little bit of a yard, both front and back, kind of separated from its neighbors. But the yard is not well maintained. It's kind of overgrown and stuff like that. So if anything, that may help you with kind of sneaking. There is a front door and a large window next to the front door that opens up into the street. all the windows you can see kind of have their blinds closed. The kind of shape of the house with a 7-Eleven would suggest that there are kind of other windows in other places, but not necessarily like a back door or something like that. But you didn't really get high enough to be able to kind of tell the layout of the house. As Isle sneaks around to the back, though, she does see that the curtains are all drawn, but there are two windows in the back of the house. One kind of larger, and if you want to get close enough, the blinds are not pulled all the way, so you can see into kind of a living room, dining room area, and then another smaller window is completely covered.
Isle wants to go to the bigger window and see what she can see if she sees anything suspicious or murdery in the living room. Or him.
Yeah, as you peek in, I won't make you roll for this because it's so obvious. You can see that the house is not particularly well lit with all the blinds drawn, but you can actually see Martin sitting at a dinner table, writing notes, and he's got a lot of papers and kind of books stacked up around him. And you can see that what you're looking into is very much like the main room of the house. You can tell just on a glance that this is like 50% of the floor space. And it's a combination living room and dining room / general purpose room. And you can see that it's in like a little bit of disarray, just kind of like papers and books everywhere. Like not somebody who entertains a lot. Somebody's just kind of like scattered their stuff everywhere. I'll
will mentally tell Kekano, tell everyone he's here, and hope that Kekano just broadcasts that to everyone. That's how it works, right?
he can broadcast that to Fish, who can then tell everyone else.
Yeah.
So, yes. You're still close enough that Kekano can just reach out and go, "He is here," and
he's inside.
As Metal and Fish kind of approach the house, at what point does Cal kind of break off and do a little bit more casing or whatever?
She, I think, is still, until the door is like fully open, she's still just walking, 5-10 steps behind.
Okay, well, Fish, just, I'm gonna grab, okay, Denya, yeah, you just be there. Metal, here's what I'm thinking. We're gonna, like, totally butter him up and, like, be feeding him nuggets of information and try and lure him out of there. And, I don't know, maybe I think I might have missed a pedal in my pocket or something. If I can find one, I don't think I've got one. But, like, we could promise him to get him a sample of flowers or something.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I like that plan. I think definitely just give him all the information. It doesn't have to be real, but definitely, yeah.
No, it doesn't. That's the best part. And you work the front desk, so you're just good at being nice and people trust you and stuff. So I think, yep, this will be good. We can do it.
I'm not good at lying, but I think between the two of us, it should even out,
Oh, yeah,
Backhanded compliment.
She's like, "What are you not?"
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah. They're a bit. Hold on. What'd you say?
You go up and you reach the door. You knock, and Isle can see Martin just like really startled, like, oh my god, somebody knocked on my door, and he rushes over, and you can see there's a little, not a peephole, but a little sliding door in the door that you can look through, and he slides it open, and he puts his eye through, kind of looks at you for just a second, and I was like, oh, closes it. You can hear a bunch of locks being undone, and then he opens the door and is like, hi, hello.
Fish, once lays slight eyes on him, they're immediately like, oh yeah, this guy. Good morning, Professor Greer. Is it? I hope we have the right place.
Yes, you do. Yes, absolutely. I am Professor Greer. I think I recognize you. I saw you in sort of the clan town. What brings you here?
Well, that's exactly it, sir. We were brought to the Clanlands on a bit of a research expedition, and we hear that it was the same thing for you. Now, unfortunately, we kind of got the impression that you weren't being fully welcomed, and so we just decided we'd come down and visit you and see, how can we, like, if maybe we can offer some of our insight as we're now in between the clan.
That would be wonderful. What institution do you represent? Who are you doing research with?
Well, I'm from the Toronto College of Agriculture.
Oh,
You may not. It doesn't sound like it's related, but trust me, when you hear more about the clan rituals, you'll understand how it's connected.
Can I please run an insight if he's buying that?
What'd you say, Rooney?
I said, can I please roll an insight to see if he's buying that?
Okay, sure. Oh, can I roll deception?
Yeah, roll deception.
Oh god.
Awesome.
I'll wait, just in case the ink hits a nat 20, then I'm not worried.
Oh, piss.
Oh god.
Okay, I've rolled a 5, but deception is +6, thankfully. I mean,
Okay.
it's still just 11.
I'm gonna run that insight now, if that's okay with you, Patrick.
Does Metal know a name of a college that she can just say? I don't
Yeah.
know, but can Metal just say, like, if she senses that, like,
No,
you're an idiot.
Metal is kind of like, she's involved enough in kind of the Ottawa, mortal scene that, like, it's kind of like, oh, even though I've never been to UCLA, I've heard about it. I know what it is. Like, she could name a local kind of institution, and she would probably, I'd say she would know enough to, like, not name like one of the biggest ones where he might know people, name like a slightly smaller one, but you couldn't go really niche. You couldn't go really niche because Metal wouldn't know the, like, the Preservation Society of Northern Ontario or whatever.
Yeah.
I got a 23, by the way.
Okay. With a 23 insight check, you can tell that he's like, all right, like, doesn't, not like, with a 23, you don't necessarily know if he totally buys it or not, but he seems to be accepting it, and seems to be kind of like thinking his own thoughts, and with a 23, you kind of get a more like, what's their goal here? If they are represented by this college, are they trying to like scoop my research? Like, you get a little bit of suspicion, but not necessarily like a acknowledgement that you think they're lying. I'll repeat that when she comes back.
Yeah, we'll just wait for her to get back.
Yeah. I think when Isle's like, okay, like, Martin's on the move, Fish is pulling their bullshittery, which, from what Isle knows, is like, this person can say anything and it'll probably still work out for them. So, I think Isle will look around to see, like, if she notices any weird tracks by the house or things like that.
Okay. Hun, what you missed is I said, he seems perhaps a little suspicious, but not necessarily like he thinks.
Yeah, I heard you through the door.
Okay. And I'll give me a survival check to kind of look for things out in the garden or the surrounding area that seem kind of out of place or something that you want to take a look at. And he's just like, oh yes, the TCA. No, I'm familiar. Yes, I worked a little bit with Dr. Carlisle at that facility. I understand that he was working on a project about sort of native farming in northern Canada and how that ties into archaeology in the region. Yes.
I will admit I don't know him as well as I'd like to, but yes, of course, Carlisle. Yes, he's a wonderful researcher. I'm so sorry. Please forgive my manners. I did not introduce myself. I am Mr. Maurice, and here is my research assistant, Charlise.
Oh, first
That
name.
is like-
No, I appreciate it. Always nice to meet fellow colleagues. I unfortunately am not warranted a research assistant, so that's...
well, it's all right, so you'll get there one day.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. Yes. Anyway, how can I help you? You said you wanted to act as a source, maybe share some research?
At
yes.
this point, can I do a death sense?
Yes. Let me pause in the talking for a second to deal with death sense and searching for tracks, and then we will go back to kind of this conversation, and we will just assume you're doing the death sense and searching for tracks
That is
stuff
happening.
in the background.
Simultaneously.
What did I roll?
I rolled a nat 20.
A nat 20 for a total of what?
25.
For a total of 25. There are no tracks in the immediate vicinity of the house that are abnormal. There's some just shoe prints that are kind of all the same shoe. So you haven't seen Martin shoes, but like the same person just kind of coming and going by the front and back door, wandering around the side yards, things like that. However, once you get a certain distance away behind the house, where it's a little more overgrown, it's not really bordering the woods, but you can get a lot more of the encroachment of the woods. You find, on a natural 20 for 25, you find a series of large footprints that you recognize from finding fish, as well as some scratches in the trees as if something large was moving through them. Also, with a natural 20, you can find that one specific pair of these prints are very deep, with a lot more pressure on the toe, as if a creature squatted here for an extended period of time, as if waiting for something, for an ambush or preparation for something. In your experience in the woods, you know both for predators and prey that sometimes what is required is a long period of stillness, and it does seem like a creature, most likely the ghost eater, based on the evidence that you've seen, has been spending some time outside this house, not close to it, but in the general vicinity, and was waiting for quite a while. And the death sense. For the death sense, there is nothing that you get within the vicinity of the house. There is no sensation of violent death or peaceful death within the last 2 weeks. there's nothing that really kind of piques your interest with that. It's just kind of a clean reading for the most part.
Sus.
All right, and we will cut back to this conversation in front. It's like, so yes, so you wanted to contribute to my research, act as a source. I will say that kind of been rather rude to me, but you know.
Oh, have they? Yes, you know what? I do believe I recall seeing a bit of an unpleasant interaction, and I'm terribly sorry about that. Thankfully, we've established a bit of a connection, and so hopefully we could bring you into more of the fold, say.
I would really appreciate that. I'm not sure how well your efforts would help. You know, I've been here for a little while, and I've really kind of tried my best, and they seem very committed to being hostile to modern science and scholarship. I think they just sort of enjoy being backwards. But yes, but I would appreciate any help you can give me. Yes.
Yes, of course. I believe, if you may recall, recently up at the Clanlands there was a festival of some kind. They've performed this ritual, and we were hoping to divulge some information if you were interested in hearing it.
Yes. No. Yes. I have actually been very interested in that. It seems like the kind of product of this ceremony is really important in a lot of their rituals. So it's a primary ritual versus secondary rituals. You understand?
Oh, yes. Hopefully, after we shed some light of what we've seen, I do hope you may be very interested in what we've discovered, but let's not get into it right now. I'm so sorry, Professor Greer. Martin?
Yes, Dr. Martin.
So good to meet.
Pleasure to meet you, Maurice.
Now, I'm just this pause doesn't exist in universe. This is me.
That's fine.
Metal also reaches out for a handshake, and she's like, Charlise.
Or pleasure to meet you, Charlise. Do you know what your specialty is going to be yet?
Not yet. A lot of different options to take. You know, it's hard to narrow down.
She's a wonderful student. She has amazing potential. I'm sure that whatever field she goes into, she'll be wonderful at. But Charlise, I must say, I'm very happy to have you working with me for now, and I must introduce you to my niece sometime. Now,
Cal behind, just shaking her head invisibly.
Cal's like, I've been replaced.
Martin, perhaps we could, before we, get into the fun details of our work, perhaps we could take you out for breakfast. Have you eaten this morning?
Oh, I mean, I have had some sustenance, some old brain food, but I think yes, breakfast sounds wonderful. You don't want to come in and sort of see the things I'm working on?
We would absolutely love to. Of course, just Charlise, you didn't have dinner last night, didn't you?
No, I was up so late studying and writing down my findings.
Oh, she was, yes.
Oh dear, I understand. Yes. Well, you gotta.
We'd love to see what you have. But yeah.
Well,
I'll start crab walking towards the door.
Yeah.
Give me just one moment. Let me go grab some papers. I want to show you in a notebook, I think. Yes, one moment. And disappears in the house. You can just, he kind of left the door open.
He left the door open? Okay, so I think Cal's going to start trying to slip in. So
Okay.
let's pray.
Oh God. Okay, natural 20.
Yeah, give me another stealth check.
Can we like assist on this? Like just morale
That was
wise?
How would you give assistance? If you can think of a way that you would actually help.
I
Okay.
think Metal could do something
Fish.
too.
Oh no, yeah, no, you go, Mads.
Well, I mean, Metal can just like I don't know, use gust or something to make some noise elsewhere.
Oh, the
like
door
if,
like slams open more
Yeah.
or something like that.
our,
Yeah, I was gonna say Fish could just like sort of shoulder the door so it's a bit wider.
true.
Fish shoulders the door. You want to use gust to like rattle the windows or something?
Yeah, like if Cal's going in like this way, I want to like rattle the windows
Yeah.
like over here.
It's a small enough place that like he's turned his back to you to like grab some things from tables and like random chairs nearby. There's not a huge distance between you. There's a very small space for Cal to like sneak in undetected. If you like do something to like draw him farther into the house, that would probably be helpful. So you want to use gust to kind of rattle the windows or something like that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Gonna contact Kekano if possible.
Yeah.
Make a noise, please.
Stunning.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Kyle's like throwing her rocks at the house, like trying. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna roll.
Yes. Roll with advantage.
Okay.
Based on this bullshittery.
Cool.
Suddenly the house is
That's
possessed.
gonna be 31.
Disappears.
With a 31, you slip in through this door and you enter the house proper. You can see most of it is this one large room, but to your left is the kitchen down a very narrow hallway, and you just slip in there, pressing yourself against a refrigerator. None of the lights are on in the kitchen, and with the windows drawn, you're deeply in shadows. And the noise of Kekano, rocks, and the breeze
Overkill.
causes Martin for just a moment to be like, one second, and he goes up and he opens the blinds in the back window, kind of staring out. I'm gonna use Isle's previous stealth check to compare. Make sure the window is locked. Closes the curtains and just like, huh. And grabs up his notes and follows you out. Turns and locks the door behind you. Cal is now locked in as you're taking Professor Greer to breakfast. I think we will
Cool. Cal goes hacker voice. I
think we will now kind of abstract the conversation that you're having as you head on over to breakfast. Let me know if there's any like specific information you're kind of pumping him for, or information you're providing to him. He is talking a lot about how he has a theory that the ritual you witnessed may be involved in their death rites somehow, and he's currently writing a paper on it. He's really excited. He thinks this is the paper that's finally going to get him like recognition in the community. You really get the sense as he's talking, it's kind of like, this is all about me. I like science is important, and by science I mean me as a representative of science.
Metal's definitely egging that on. She's like, "Wow, oh my gosh, yeah, that's crazy."
Will you explain that to me?
Literally, she's like, "Oh my god."
I'm not even gonna have him roll because he absolutely just buys that, and it works for him perfectly.
I didn't know that. Wow.
So, as we go, I want Fish to be like making hints that that we're representing a higher authority that wants him to succeed, in the sense that it's like, oh yeah, we really want you to like go for it, and so we were specifically sent to help you like bridge this gap. Even maybe like making a reference to like some sort of sanctuary foundation in the event of like his success. And it's like,
Mhm.
yes, there's a like they want to help you and like publish your papers and such and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
I can't say I've ever heard of the Sanctuary Foundation. You said they're operating out of Ottawa, yes? But that is interesting. You know, I always love small batch publishers. I think that's really important for our field. I really didn't think Dr. Carlisle remembered me well enough to send some people to assist. That's very quite generous of him. Give me a persuasion check.
Cool. That's a dirty 20.
Yo.
He seems to be like taking everything that you're saying at face value. He doesn't seem to be kind of aware of any kind of sanctuary or kind of like picking up the secondary layer of what you're putting down. But yeah, he just seems to totally buy it, and he's on your side, and he's really excited that you know someone is taking this opportunity for him. I will also say, without a perception check, now that you've got him out in the light of day, the last time you saw Professor Greer, he didn't look super great. He just looked kind of like tired and run down, maybe slightly sick. Now that you've got him out into the sunlight, you can see that if anything, he's worse than the last time you saw him. Big bags under his eyes, very sallow, constantly kind of taking off his glasses and rubbing his eyes and putting them back on. He has a little bit of a wheeze when he breathes. But as you like talk about his research and like really seem to be supporting him, he really perks up. He gets his energy back. He's excited to be talking about his work. And you go to breakfast. I think we'll shift now to Cal and Isle.
So they've now left the house.
Yeah, they have now
Okay.
left the house.
Yeah.
And they are.
Mads, real
heading down.
quick. I think when we get back to our scene, we should like be like, oh no, are you not sleeping well?
Yes, I was gonna say Metal should be
Yeah.
like, first time I've come here, I just have felt, plagued by nightmares.
Yeah.
Unwell.
sorry.
Yeah, I'm just
Yes.
continue.
Cal goes to the window, unlocks it. Do I think that Isle would be able to... Actually, yeah, I was going to say, would Isle be able to fit... Let's say, would Isle be able to fit through the window in human form versus, like, I'll need to have her turn into a terrier and, like, pick her up and bring her in?
If you're doing the largest window in the back of the house, the one he was checking on and making sure is locked, give me a strength check.
Open it? Cool. That's a 9.
With a 9, you unlock the window, pull it open, seems totally fine and easy, and then it sticks. And you can tell, like, it's the squeaking of the wood, like it's supposed to open more, but it's really not doing it. And the opening it's leaving is large enough for a small animal, but not large enough for a person without some really acrobatic flexibility to get through.
So I think I contact Kakano and I'll be like, Kakano.
You don't have a psychic connection to Kekino, so
I
you would
can't just like verbally think
You
really
just-
hard in his direction.
no, you'd need to speak out loud.
Okay.
Here, bud.
How close
Yeah.
is Isle to the window?
I was gonna say, can Isle try to lift if the window's a little bit open, can Isle try to lift it from outside? If the window...
Isle would have come back to probably within like 20 feet to throw the rock, so you can see Cal is inside and kind of futzing with the window, so you can probably go over and try to help if you want.
Alright, I would like to do that.
Caligula says, if this doesn't work, we can just get you through the front door. I can unlock
Yeah.
the other side of the door.
Then Isle, give me a strength check.
Yeah, I rolled a 5. That's 2, so no. Isle's very embarrassed that she cannot open this fucking window.
It's
do I
absolutely just like, step aside, I got this.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah.
This is like Vox Machina, how they can't open doors. We just can't open windows, even though the front door is right there.
So the door seems to be kind of jammed open. And
Can I close it? Can I do a strength check to see if it can be closed again?
Yes, give me a strength check with disadvantage.
Can we both pull?
Close the curtains.
Because you are outside, you can. I'd say yes, you can assist, which eliminates the disadvantage. So just make
thanks.
a saving throw. I mean, strength check.
That's a 5 again.
Yeah,
It
it's
does
fine.
not move.
Cool.
It is
What
jammed
is...
open.
It's fine.
Now that you are so close to it, you can see that the windowsill is fairly warped from moisture, and it is just stuck open a crack. You can try to get in. You can go around and unlock the door. You can try a different window if you want, although this is the biggest one. So
I think at this point we'll just creep around to the front door, and I guess be sneaky about it. Even though I'm sure everyone around does not give a shit what happens to this guy's house. But
still using your stealth checks from before, nobody notices, or at least nobody seems to notice that anything is going wrong. Cal can unlock all the doors. You can unlock the door. You can tell there's a lot of locks on the door, and they haven't been well maintained, so they're very squeaky. But if you just manage to get everything all out and get the door open for Isle, and you are now both inside.
is Sarah coming in with us?
Sarah, actually make a perception check.
She wandered into the woods.
7.
With a 7, you look over to where Sarah was, and you do not see her.
Cool.
So you don't know what's happening to her. However, with just your passive perception, Metal and Fish know that Sarah is kind of shadowing them. Saw Martin with them, and is kind of is staying 40 feet back, as invisible kind of backup, keeping an eye on them.
Cool.
So you have no idea where Sarah went, but just that she's not there.
Alright, I'm looking for anything related to Tenna. I'm looking for cat hair. I'm looking for blood.
Keys.
Yeah.
What about Cal?
Stolen items, perhaps from the museum as well.
Yeah, I think Cal is, she's a paperwork girl, so she's going through the papers and any personal journals.
Dear
and stuff like that.
diary, today
Yeah.
I killed Tenna Whitecalf.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Both of you give me an investigation check.
I
Well,
shit you not, a nat 20 again.
Hell yeah. And then for me,
It's a 5 and 20 day.
It really is. And it was a 2 right immediately before. It goes 8, 20, 5, 2, 20.
For me, it's a 23.
Nice. What is total for that natural 20 for Isle?
Let's look. It's 20.
Okay, just a
Yeah.
plus 0.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So Cal searches the paperwork. With a roll that high, you find a lot of scholarly work on the Cree, some kind of less than scholarly, very popular work on the Indians of North Canada.
Weird Indian porn.
A lot of, yeah, I mean, with a roll that high, not out here, but somewhere in the house, you'll find that. You find a lot of kind of like journal articles that are marked up and things like that, and you do find some paperwork that has Tenna's name on it. Some of it is letters from Tenna. Some of it is correspondence with Martin, and as you go through it, the older letters are very kind of like professionally polite, very much the guidance of an expert in her field answering questions to somebody who's doing research in that field. As it goes on, it gets more personal and a lot less friendly, and she very kind of reading between the lines is very much like, hey, you're really pissing me off. You need to stop this. Very much kind of shortened temper in these letters. And they're dated over the last year or so. Some of them are postmarked for down in Toronto. Some of them are postmarked for actually much more north in Quebec than you are currently. A lot of small coastal settlements that are either even farther up. And you also find Martin's personal notes where he's putting things together. And you see that he has put together a number of what seems like very normal research notes about kind of the Cree in this area and their cultural practices and things like that. But you can kind of get hints with a roll that high within his notes of things like perhaps having an awareness of magic and what it is, perhaps lying about not understanding the magic, perhaps things that imply that he may know what an ice heart is and what it does. Things that are nothing spelled out, but little hints that perhaps he knows more about kind of the secrets of the clan than he has ever let on. And you also get a little bit of like a travel journal that describes basically he came to this town after trading letters with Tenna, and he worked with her on some stuff in town for a while. He went north and did a bunch more research. He came back down south here recently, seemingly with much more of an interest in the clan and kind of focusing on that. And that's kind of what you get from that investigation check. For Isle, with that natural 20, I am going to roll you a luck check really fast. Good job. You, with your natural 20, you search the house as Cal kind of focuses on the paperwork. You focus on the not paperwork. You find that he's very messy and that the home is not necessarily dirty, although there's a lot of dishes in the sink. There's some kind of like sandwich crusts that have just been left to rot on a random bookshelf, things like that. But as you sort through the kind of detritus, you find just some very normal travel stuff, clothing, things like that. Nothing that's either suspicious or not suspicious for you, just totally neutral things until you get to his bedroom. And this house, the entire most of the house is this one big room that you've been searching. The kitchen comes off of it, and then there is a second room that comes off of it. So you have to assume that's the bedroom because it's the only one you haven't seen. And when you get there, you find the door is locked. With your natural 20 and with a luck check that I just rolled for you, you remember finding a key in one of the kitchen drawers. It was stuck under a little non-slip mat in the drawer, kind of gross and crusty, like it was lost and not meant to be there. Maybe a spare key that has been forgotten over time. And so you can unlock the door into the bedroom. And once you do so, you enter in. The bedroom is, if anything, far, far messier than the rest of the house. There's clothes scattered everywhere, paper scattered everywhere. Everything is a mess, except for on a narrow shelf in the wall, you see a number of very pristine items almost displayed, lined up on this shelf. And with your 20 investigation, you start putting together the descriptions of placards that you read from Tenna's museum to items that were missing, supposedly packed for a trip or a presentation. And these items are here in his home. Do you wish to take a closer look at the items?
This page.
Yes.
And give me one more investigation check.
God, don't die.
Also, you can holler at me because I do have +5 to investigation.
Okay. Yeah, it might be a move to holler at Cal and be like, I think you should see this.
Okay.
Cal's just
Cal comes
like doing
in.
the like Pooh Bear, like, guys,
Yeah.
handwriting is terrible.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, it's upside down. Ah.
English isn't even her native language. She's like, Jesus Christ. the necromancer fell into the bed, like, Saints above.
I will also say that Kekano is there, so let me do a roll for him.
He's helping in whatever way he can.
I was like, wow, he's so smart.
Okay, not even joking. I might take a picture of this. Kekano rolls for perception for smells and sounds with advantage because he is a little buddy with really great senses.
Hello, guy.
We were talking about it is a 20 or 5 day. I rolled a 20 and a 5 with
What
advantage.
the hell?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
I
scared.
wish it was May. What if it was May 20th? That would have been so funny.
That
We're
would have
close,
been
though.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh God.
only it were the 25th.
Jesus. Okay, Kekano is in your arms aisle as you call Cal in, and he's just kind of sniffing the air, and he's just like, bad. And he points with his nose at a specific thing on the shelf. And so I will say between Cal helping you and Kekano rolling that and pointing you to the specific item, make an investigation check with advantage.
Can I do it because I have the +5?
Either of you.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Then I'll let you do it, Cal.
Get out of the way.
Yeah, that's valid.
That kind of solves it all.
I was like, I'll let the bookworm do it.
Oh, I love getting that. So that's gonna be a sweet little 24.
With a 24, you look at the object that Kekano pointed out. It is a small mortar and pestle that is very decorated on the outside. It has a lot of carvings in it. So clearly not just a regular one for grain or something like that. Some sort of ceremonial ritual use. And Isle probably vaguely remembers glancing at a plaque for this item. And as Cal picks it up off the shelf, looks at it very closely, and sees on the bottom that although it has been cleaned, the roughness of the volcanic stone means there is just a small amount of blood and hair pressed in to the bottom of this object. And Cal would remember that Tenna was killed with a blunt object.
I think she, to just kind of follow up on that instinct, she lifts up to Kekano and says, like, oh no, Kekano never went to the house, right?
I was with Sarah at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kekano never went inside. Yeah.
She thinks about that and she goes, does this smell like swift rabbit or anything related to that?
Nose check.
It smells like blood and also cat.
Caligula turns to Isle and says, that's enough for me.
Silence now.
Oh, my breakfast.
She says, I think if we can't get that window closed, I think the best thing for us to do while we wait is for us to take a few items and stage this as a break-in. Just seem like a normal robbery, and we take this as well as, you know, things mortals like, I don't know,
the TV.
Forks.
Oh no! Metal should have stayed.
Isle is very torn between wanting to absolutely like fuck this place out, and I guess like concerned that Metal and Fish could be put in danger somehow if they come back, and
yeah,
because if he's like two randos that want to talk to me about my work and then comes back to see his house, like could totally fucked. But I guess he won't.
Does she express this at all out loud?
Yeah, except in an Isle way. That's
okay.
Not
So Caligula says, in that case, we just make sure they're not there when he returns to the house. Sarah comes, yells at them, says, "How dare you speak to them?" etc., etc. Mm-hmm. He returns to this house alone.
There is one thing that may influence your decision making that you also find with your very high investigation checks.
Yeah.
Under the bed, you find an empty cardboard box, and along the side of it, you see 16 gauge slug shotgun shells. And you remember that one of the evidence that Tenna was gone is that her shotgun is missing, and that she never goes anywhere without it. Therefore, she was gone. And you did not see this weapon anywhere in this house, and you searched it top to bottom.
I can't believe this mortal actually
That's what he
killed somebody.
Picked up before.
I swear to God. Listen, Metal has a gun.
Metal's got a gun.
Wait, what's the... Okay, so... We didn't find her gun, but we did find the shell.
The gun was in this house, and now it's not, which means that either he has separately stashed it somewhere, or most likely put it in like a backpack or something.
Okay.
He probably has it somewhere outside this house, whether that's on him, whether that's wherever he dumped Tenna, who knows. Yeah. But it was in this house, and this is an empty box that would contain shells. So wherever it is, it's probably loaded or has some ammo.
Cool. I think foolishness turns to Kekano and kind of like picks him up, kind of gestures him to Isle like he's a fucking microphone and just like let Fish know that we have significant evidence that he has in fact killed Tenna and may be currently armed. We are going to try and do some cover up here and then try and find you. We will bring Sarah for backup. And then kind of like gestures the seal mic at you if you want to add anything else.
Kekino is looking at the two of you and then scrunches up, closes his eyes, curls into a ball. Concentration. Nope. Dad is too far.
No.
Yeah.
There is a range of 120 feet, and in the time it took you to search this house, they would have left that area already.
Oh no.
Cool.
Oh,
So
yes.
I think Caligula says, destroy the house, find Sarah.
Can we send... Kekino has Pass Without Shadows on him. Can we trust Kekino to be stealthy enough to Neum to Fish? Or to Neum to Sarah and then Neum to Fish?
You would also know that Kekino is very fast, much faster than any of you.
Cool,
So,
then I think she
She bowls Kekino.
Yeah, she bowls Kekino at the front door, and she says, Do you agree that we should destroy as much as we can just to make it less obvious what we've taken?
I kind of just want to take it all.
We can take as much. I'm just saying, I just want to convey the open window and any items missing is going to seem like a break-in. The more we can muddle what exactly are, and the more we can look like a mortal robbery, the best chance we have of him. He's not very bright. Best chance we have of him not putting two and two together.
I think I'll just starts, like, she wordlessly takes all of the stolen items from the museum. What she can put in her bag, she'll put in. And I guess just hold anything else, and then she'll immediately, like, she just, like, starts, like, flipping tables.
Yeah.
And before you do this, you send Kekino on this mission?
Yeah.
Okay. So you want Kekino to first find Sarah, and then...
No, you
I do. I think we should all be in the loop. Really quick before we torch everything, did we see anything about the Ghost Eater, or was there like any sort of summoning spell carved into the floorboards?
There is nothing that you managed to find. There is, I will say, in his personal notebook that Cal found, there are some dates that are missing and some pages that are torn out. But there is nothing obviously tying him to the Ghost Eater in any way.
Cool. Yeah. I think I'll just start doing one of the things she does best, which is destroying this location. She is going to actively try to not, like, harm the house itself, because she knows that he's renting from someone else. But anything that is his items is,
could tear, like, fucking up notebooks and stuff like that. Cal, as Isle's doing a very good job of this, Cal has, like, taken out a drawer of silverware, taken it loose, and then like pocketed forks and be like,
what's expensive?
Do blackout poetry with his notes.
Right. Like,
I am a mortal robber.
Okay. Open up the door. Bull Kekino outside. He just goes and slides out the door, and I'm going to start rolling checks for him in the background to try to hunt down where Sarah is. He knows
any paint or anything that Isle could
and then
a menacing message like this.
Welcome home, cheater.
Cal also wants to break the window, but like silently, if possible.
tell me how you're breaking a window silently.
What, do you have any ideas, my dear?
May I suggest? Because I was thinking,
Yeah.
if there's a hammer, then we could go tap, 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 tap.
Very gentle taps.
Maybe that'll just be the last thing they do, and then they break and then say, and then there's somebody being like, "Oh my god, your house got broken into."
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. That'll be our last thing, which is kind of running. That scene running.
Okay. You awkwardly kind of toss the house, focusing on kind of destroying things. You've got kind of the important evidence that you've stashed away safe. Isle, with her life experience, would have far more of a sense of what is valuable, both to mortals and not. So I doubt she really interferes with Cal stealing silverware or anything, but she is probably much more able to effectively roll this place.
Yeah, we're not. Cal's like, I read Les Mis once and grabs the candlesticks.
Mm-hmm. And Isle is like, this is not even the first time I've done this to a house.
Oh. Real quick interruption right here.
Mm-hmm.
I just had my dice sitting out, and Noodle started to go at it, and I was like, oh yeah, let's see what he rolls. Nat 20.
Nice.
Oh
Well,
That's rolling for
happening.
Kekano.
Yeah, next time you have an important roll, you should rub it on Noodle first, so you get Noodle's blessing.
Get them noodle juices.
Okay, well, I think we can very quickly just say you roll the house, steal a lot of the valuables plus some other random shit, break a bunch of things, but without doing.
Cal takes like all of
things.
his good pens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
And
paper.
as you're leaving, break the window, and you guys are out of there, and you can, try to stay in the area and keep an eye on them coming back. You can try to find them. You can try to go back to where the clan is. That's up to you. But we will move now to what's been happening with Metal and Fish and Dr. Greer.
We're in the hot seat over here.
Yep. You have now, based on this very flattering conversation of Charlise, that was it. Of Charlise.
Charlise, yeah.
How could you forget?
Just pumping up his ego over and over again. You have now reached kind of the main high street where the bar is, where you can get some food there, or now that it's daytime, there is one other very small restaurant that's open and kind of serving breakfast. But you're kind of at the place to make choices about where to go eat.
Martin, do you have any dietary restrictions?
I will say I'm not a huge fan of pork, but other than that,
Me
no.
neither. My mother was Jewish.
Oh, for me, it's not a religious thing. I don't really like the mouthfeel,
I mean, I don't know because I've never tried it, but I trust you on the matter.
Yeah. Well, I've since you are new to town, I've eaten here before, pointing to the other restaurant, and they do have a good French toast with a side of very thinly sliced grilled salmon that I think is rather delicious. So I would.
It sounds it. Charlise, what do you think?
French toast and salmon? Is that what you said?
Yep.
Okay. She's gonna be like, oh my god, I love French toast. That sounds like a great idea. It's exactly what I wanted.
It's the only French thing you love.
Jesus. As you go in,
I'm going down to get water, but I just have to say, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
This is like worse than real life trying to figure out where to eat.
Yeah. as you get in, you can see what Martin unhelpfully described is that they do have French toast, although not in a particularly traditional style. And then as a side dish, you can see a lot of people getting it's grilled toast with some sort of schmear and then very thin sliced grilled salmon on top, which is kind of a very traditional breakfast food in kind of this part of Canada. So he made it sound like there was like salmon on the French toast, and it's not. He's just kind of it's just
Two dishes.
kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Heard.
And yeah, you find a table, you sit down, and Sophie's like, so what can you tell me about the ceremony?
Well, what can't we tell you about the ceremony, to be honest? It was a wonderful time. Truly,
great party.
I'm sure if we went back and spoke to the elders, like, we could get you in for the next one. Maybe even stage it sooner, just so you're not missing out. Well, there was a bit of a competition element to it. Charlise, you you did very, very well. There was we had to do some collecting, gathering of the local fauna. Is there anything that you know about that, or like do we need to?
Was that an intentional mistake?
Yeah. It was my understanding it was flora. There is a natural flower that is important to them.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I know sort of what it looks like, and I've tried to take some samples and pluck them, but they don't seem to do very well transplanted.
Oh no, you have to make sure that they are not plucked, but like preserve the plant. Pardon me with my slip of the tongue. I have dyslexia.
Metal's gonna be like, I actually collected the most of the flowers. That's where the competition came in. I collected, 32, which apparently is quite a large amount. For this kind of competition in the ceremony.
Oh yes, they were very grateful.
Excellent. And how were these? How does the competition tie in with the ceremony afterwards? Do you think it's sort of a rite of passage, or perhaps warrior training in some way?
Oh, most certainly a rite of passage. Yes, I think that is why we've gotten so much credit, just from participating and Charlise doing so well. We've sort of become part of. I say we. Really, it was her. It was all her. She's very brilliant. But yes,
I'm very beloved.
More a rite of passage. Warrior training. I would say that these people, they have been hostile to you, and I deeply apologize. Like, that is not pleasant, but they are no threat to anyone.
I mean, some of them seem pretty threatening. The Longfisher girl, especially, is very, very threatening.
She's quite gentle, actually. A very generous lover.
I
don't. They do not say that. They do not
say that. He said it had to be said.
They said she's actually quite gentle.
So we all know she's not.
Period. That's off the that's not in the conversation. But it's certainly thought. It is certainly thought.
Yeah.
Very gentle person. She's actually quite sweet, but she has a rough exterior.
Yes, she lost her aunt.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Do you think that she would be open to an interview then?
Perhaps we could speak to her. In this last day, I believe that she's opened up enough. Again, we will have to speak to her first, but if not,
it would definitely take, some conversations with her first, just to, because, you might have gotten off on a different page, the wrong side, of things. So
but there's
we'd
no
have to mediate that
relationship
first.
can't be repaired. Am I right, Martin?
Oh, true.
I certainly have to hope so, but I mean, I will say I got less of a sense that it was out of personal dislike and more of a sort of disrespect for us, that people that do what we do, a little lack of respect for scholarship.
Yes.
If I could just reveal something here.
Hmm.
A lot of the time when they were angry at me, they were talking about a grave that some of my colleagues dug up numerous years ago.
Oh,
And-
years ago. Oh, then
Yeah,
what does it matter?
And exactly what I was saying. And do they even understand that this is the most intact grave we've ever found at this latitude pre-contact for the Kree? I mean, this
Exactly.
continuing to study this for decades, and it is seminal to my paper. It is key.
Exactly. It is so important for our knowledge that the culture aspect of it is simply irrelevant.
Exactly, or at least the modern culture of it. How can we ever know where we're going if we haven't known where we've been? And a bunch of
Isn't that the truth?
old legends just told around the fire in the far north. That doesn't do anybody any good. It's got to be written up. It's got to be published. It's got to make it into textbooks, preferably written by me. But that's where
Oh well.
Sure.
Hopefully, Martin, we can get you there. We'd love to help you in any way. If I may circle back to Ms. Longfisher for a second, we will do our best, of course, to get you in contact with her on amicable terms. We were wondering if there was someone that you could put us in contact with. We've heard a name since we've come back into town. That may be of some interest to us. Someone, Charlise, what was the name of this woman?
It was like, was it Elevena or Tenna or something like that? It's like a number.
Tenna Whitecalf, yes.
Oh, you know her?
Yes. Oh, yes.
No, she's a good friend of mine, a good colleague.
Oh, great. Wonderful.
Actually, partially what inspired this work. I saw a talk by her quite a long time ago, and it really inspired me to pursue this. First brought me up here and started exploring this very interesting culture. Yes, Henna. I'm sure I could put you in touch with her. Unfortunately, I think I heard that she's out of town right now. She tends to just drop everything and go on trips to make presentations. Like the one I saw.
Well, we're here for a while.
Vienna's right. I'm gonna insight check this motherfucker.
Insight check.
Yeah.
This son of a bitch.
Oh, that's okay. I've rolled a 14, and is it just plus? Yep. Okay, that's 16.
With a 16 compared to the deception he just rolled, you get the sense that he and Tenna are not really friends, that he's kind of overselling, like, at least the emotionality of this relationship, and that when he says that she is out of town, you know pretty clearly that he doesn't actually believe that. You don't know enough to be like, he is absolutely lying. He doesn't think that she's unreachable right now. or at least unreachable because she's out of town.
Oh.
Um,
Oh.
Can Metal... Okay, so I don't know if I technically have time to like ask this, but so Metal has a bottle of holy water that she got from those people on the train. And I was thinking if I just take it out and I use like I think one of my it's like shape water or something, you can change like the color of it.
Mhm.
So I feel like I could take it out and be like, oh, that's a shame because this is like part of the stuff that was extracted from the flowers, and I heard Tenna knew so much about it. Is that a terrible idea?
No, that's a great
Or
idea.
she's just gonna do it.
Give me,
No, I really like it, and also, yes, like the point where, like, oh yeah, we're gonna be in town for a while. Don't even worry about it.
At least a few months, I think, so we can really like sink our teeth into everything. You know.
Oh
Yes.
yes, no, totally understand. Yes, I will say sometimes when you're working and it's really hard to find the answers. Sometimes it really eats at you that you can't just kind of get all the info that you want. You just gotta stay strong and patient, and you'll find what you're looking for. Give me a deception check with advantage.
Okay.
From both of us?
No, from Metal for the fake clan juice.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm totally just project like, oh yeah, it's the clan.
It's like the exact color of the flowers. Okay, like it's so convincing. But she's holding it far back. She's not gonna like give it to him because like we also kind of need this. But
this is our one sample. Please be very careful.
Yeah, so
with it. We'll like
just like okay. Big money, no Amy's. It's either gonna be a 20 or a 5.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a 12. Okay. Oh wait, you said advantage, right?
Advantage, yeah.
Okay. Oh, that was a 2. Okay. Okay, so 15.
Those are the other two numbers. We wanted 20.
Okay, with a 15, he almost tries to like snatch it out of your hand before you kind of like pull it away from him. But he's just you managed to get you managed to get a sample of that. The clan doesn't release more than a few drops to outsiders, and I haven't been able to get any. That's excellent news. Have you done any kind of spectrographic analysis? Is there any? Should we send a sample to the lab? This is.
We did send a sample to our own sources. We are currently waiting for the test results to come back, but we still have plenty more that we can be doing. What is it that you would do, Martin, with the sample?
I would say that you say the clan is really nice, but I can't imagine they parted with this much on purpose. I got the sense it's very important to them. So I would probably give me a sample, and I have a lab that can run it pretty quickly, and we can get sort of the majority of it out of here in case the clan wants to reclaim it in some way. And then yes, I'd say we maybe wait for Tenna to return and ask her thoughts on kind of the sample we keep back. You can tell that once you had this high value thing, it very quickly switched from how can I take advantage of these people and their knowledge to I'm a part of you. We're all on the same team here. I'm absolutely getting everything that you've already worked for.
I
Very
can't
much
wait to
intruding
kill
himself.
this guy.
Oh. Can I just have a second to be thinking about how much I hate him and everything?
I know.
Yep. He sure is a guy. We're not letting him touch this fucking water. I know it's not even anything,
No.
but we're not letting him touch the fucking water.
This is all we have left. Well, I mean,
Accidentally
on
spilled on it.
on our person right now. Oh my god.
Fuck. Let me just check my inventory, like for anything I can just make.
I know.
up
I
might be
literally. I'm like,
important.
I have exactly one bottle. I have I have that coin that always lands on its edge.
Yeah, I've got a
Maybe we
fish
can flip
tooth I
for
got
it.
from the Mimikwisu, and I can just be like,
That's cool.
I will say as this conversation is happening, food has come. You've all ordered and had your breakfast. You can see that Martin kind of gets quiet when the waitress is nearby, and then starts speaking again. Not like it's like a big secret he's keeping, but kind of out of habit of kind of keeping his work close to the chest. He, as you're having this conversation, first of all, I'll remind you, you haven't asked him about nightmares yet, just because you said you wanted to do that.
yep.
And he, as you're kind of finishing up breakfast, he's like, "Oh, this is such an exciting opportunity. Okay, I think we should head back to my house that I'm renting, and I can show you some of the notes that I'm working on, and I think we can really sort this through. Give me just one moment, though. I need to make a quick phone call first. If you'll just wait just a moment." And he gets up and heads on over to kind of like a public phone that's in the cafe, and starts dialing a number, unless you're doing something to stop him or something.
Are we stopping him?
Should we? Metal can go over there and like eavesdrop.
Yeah. Okay.
I think. Yeah.
Give me a stealth roll.
She's gonna like be looking for the bathroom. Okay.
Just trying to be cute about it.
But I have plus 10 now.
Yeah, you do have plus 10, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Fish will
it's
stay-
less of a like hiding and more of a like trying not to be noticed stealth roll.
Yep. And has anything been left back at the table apart from like plates and shit?
Just the notes he was writing, a couple pieces of paper, but nothing that's like obviously important. It seems like notes about kind of the things you were talking about.
Okay.
Do I add my stealth and the plus 10?
Yes.
Okay, it's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Nice.
As he dials, you can hear someone pick up at the other end. He kind of presses the mouthpiece presses the earpiece to his ear and covers his mouth a little bit and talks in the phone a little bit. He doesn't seem to have noticed you at all, but give me a perception check to try to kind of listen in on what he's doing. It's hard to tell at a glance if this is supposed to be like a secret phone call or it's just kind of loud in here and he's trying to talk on the phone.
12.
Okay. With a 12,
out of character suggestion, ask if he, knows any Cree, because Metal is fluent, so she could probably be like, "Oh, here's a sentence." I don't know.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
As you listen in with a 12, you get kind of bits and pieces. As you kind of move closer through the crowd, pretending to search for the bathroom, you get kind of right up on him, and he's just kind of like saying, "Okay, yes, no, thank you, that's what I thought. No, I was just double checking. No, it's okay."
Shit.
No.
Oh, no! Metal's gonna accidentally bump into him.
I'll talk to you soon. And then it bump into him and it's like, "Oh!
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Hangs up the phone.
So sorry. I've been so exhausted recently. Anyway, did you see the bathroom?
Yes, I've used it before. I believe it is right over there around the corner. You kind of like head like you're going into the kitchens, and then right before the kitchen is the bathroom.
Okay. Guys, we're screwed. Off topic. He just called some school to confirm something, and I'm pretty sure he knows we're full of shit. Can I do an insight check on him?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, you're in a public place. What's he gonna do right now?
I don't know, but anything we do going forward is not good.
I'm just waiting for my son. Where's my son?
Literally.
I've been
Okay.
rolling for him.
No, hurry. It's an 11.
It's an 11. With an 11, this is just some personal business that you did notice him kind of like look at the clock very quickly before he was like, oh, I need to make a phone call. So it's like, maybe he needed to check in with something or talk to somebody. Nothing that suspicious, just kind of a phone call.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, Metal's gonna walk to the bathroom, kind of like have a little panic scream, and she's gonna go back out. Just sit back down. Yeah.
Okay.
I hope that Martin is paying for the check.
You see that he genuinely, like, the check comes and he gets out his wallet and he counts out like just his amount and puts it on and then kind of leans back for like a second, and it's just like a pause that goes on a little bit too long, and then he takes his wallet out again and pays for the rest of it. Very much
like holding
we
the vial.
shake the water at him like
yeah.
It's literally like Cusco's poison.
Yeah.
But yes, you wrap up the meal and you're now kind of headed out. He's talking excitedly about all the tests you can do with this substance, and some theories that he's found some residue on some pots, and he has a theory that it's the same and that they can date the residue, and maybe that'll tell them something about like how it's used because of how it's changed over time, yada yada yada. There is a point in which you suddenly reconnect with Kekino and realize that he is now close enough, and it draws your attention to a Sarah Longfisher, like kind of in the shadows of she's actually like in a small hardware store across the street watching you through the window, and you can see she's holding Kekino. And Kekino takes this moment of connection to tell you a kind of abbreviated version of what Cal and Isle found. And with that, we will move back on over to them. Mooney put in the chat that she wanted Isle to jump out the window as a terrier and then break it from the outside, so the glass was on the inside. If Isle agrees and you're willing to use the shape change, then we can just say that happens. And
Vanna, you're muted.
Yeah, I know. I realized. I think Isle doesn't want anyone to see her in terrier form because she thinks it's cute and embarrassing. But Isle will like go out, like leave the door, lock the door, then like go out,
You're past
go around,
without trace,
and
so
punch
I
the
wouldn't see
window.
you. If you really want to save it, but you're past without trace, so like I could look away and you would be a dog I couldn't see.
Okay.
You could just be like, turn around.
Yeah. She will incredibly.
Also, I will point out, you have other small animals you can turn into.
I terrier was just the one I knew.
No, she can't be little. It's illegal.
Yeah, you got, I think, a possum, a skunk, a snake.
Yeah.
Little possum going.
No. She'll slither on out of there. Yeah, I'll use the shape change. That's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
As
I read that in a Clue Junior book, and it really stuck with me for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So I can't have someone thinking that I was trying to sloppily pretend that someone was breaking in. I gotta make it authentic.
Also, Isle has rolled enough houses to understand that the kind of nuances of a break-in and also faking one.
Okay.
As Isle gets outside, changing back into human shape, Cal then turns around and has to kind of awkwardly scrabble out the broken window to the now broken window to get out and still have the interior door remain locked.
Yeah.
Just as you're climbing through the window, you feel a coldness coming from your necklace as you get a call from Tinnitus.
Not
There
the
is-
time, man.
There is no, you know from previous check-ins that there is nothing that says you need to drop everything to answer this call, but that you need to answer it sort of as soon as possible. And because of your last interaction with Tinnitus, Cal may be in a headspace of wanting to make as good of an impression as possible.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think Collisionist picks up her locket and then turns to Isle and is like, I can probably take this. You can, I can be covered. I'll just stay in this general area. You can make your way back to the rest of the group. I'll be fine.
I'm not going to leave you. But I will step away for privacy. Isle's like,
I'll make this quick.
Cal's dating this tiny man who lives in her necklace.
Swag, Tinnitus.
But yeah, Isle's not gonna leave quite yet because yeah.
Cool.
There's
Cal
also,
finds
you know,
good.
the garden is kind of overgrown, and we said there's a stand of trees not that far from it, so you can also kind of like step away from the house, give Cal a little space, and also be like a little bit hidden if you just kind of want to crouch down in some underbrush.
Yeah, she finds this little like shrub corner that's far enough away from the house because she knows that
and sees what
that
cool
could happen
shit
soon.
Did.
And yeah, I guess Isle is just examining the stuff that they went through, and they find a little like backyard of somewhere else. They still have Pass Without Trace, so backyard to hanker down. Cal takes out the necklace and answers the call.
Hello, Sister Denier.
Hello. Did you have a reason for reaching out to me?
Yes, as you'll recall, I said I would support your current mission by doing some research on soul transfer and creatures specifically that can steal souls. As I told you, I spoke with Sister Tail, and she checked some other contacts of hers to hopefully give you more information.
Is that what I was speaking to you about last time?
Yes.
I can't even. They have been asking for such inane things from me. I apologize. I don't even remember having that conversation.
Deception check.
I talked to this about Patrick like ages ago, being like, she's just gonna straight up gaslight.
I'm so proud of her.
I know that this isn't possible, but like the spirit of fish just being like, yes, fucking go.
Oh my god.
I'm
Here
just
we go.
imagining
Here
it
we
like
go.
a cartoon. It's like, I wasn't asking about that, was I? And he's like, no, you were. And it's like just flash cuts to Cal like in bed, anxious eyes open, staring at the ceiling, and then just like, no, I haven't been thinking about that. I don't remember it.
16.
16. With a 16, you get the sense that maybe he doesn't fully believe you, but he kind of understands that there is kind of draws on your attention at the moment. He rolled his insight very close to yours, so it's not like he disbelieves.
Don't give me another nat 20.
Yeah. It's not like he disbelieves you, but more like he's like, oh, all right, well, you definitely did. So, he says, yes, no, I have done some research, and Sister Tail is with me presently with that research. And you just hear Sister Tail be like, hello, sister.
Hello,
It's
Sister
good to
Tail.
hear- It's good to hear from you.
You as well.
Yes. I suppose Sister Tail, feel free to take over. Tale, as in a story. Um, yeah. And you can see that you can get the sense of, like, kind of against his will, Tinnitus is turning the call over to Sister Tail. And and she's like, "Okay, sister, I've reached out to some people and done some of my own research. Is there anything more you can share about this event you think is happening? I have some research here on the Hokkaido of Korea doing a sort of a soul eating." There is, of course, a warlock magic, and many of their creatures sort of have a taste for souls, as it were. Yes, is there any more details you can give me?
This seems to be some sort of mortals murdering members of the clan. It seems these involves things that doesn't seem capable of these mortals. I'm being drawn into very inane situations. Anything a mortal could make a deal with, possibly. I do not even know if I believe that is the connection here, but that is the leading theory they are asking me to investigate.
There are certainly some of these beings that sort of can be found by mortals, maybe make a deal with them. Some of them are more kind of intelligent, sapient, able to use mortals to their own purposes. Of course, you know that they're very easily misled. It's entirely possible that a warlock could have corrupted a mortal, perhaps taking them as some sort of acolyte and feeding off the souls they steal as a price. You know what the actual answer is from your research, and so you know that she's kind of completely on the wrong track, but also that this is kind of the best she can do without having all of this research. And without having access to the things you know. And you also know that, although he's not speaking, Brother Tinnitus is still there and listening, so you may not want to reveal more information. Is any of that helpful for you at all, or?
I will pass on the information. I have never encountered a warlock. I'm not sure if the clan has. I deeply appreciate that you both have gone for so much over this silly request. I hope it wraps up soon. We have found some information involving the mortal blood on his hands, metaphorically, and I am hoping that will wrap up my involvement completely, and they will bring this over to the mortal police force or something similar, and I will no longer have to be dragged in.
Sister Tail is like, "Oh yeah, that sounds so difficult. I'm sorry, that's stressful for you." While Brother Tinnitus kind of cuts in and is like, yes, let the mortals kind of deal with mortal business. What's important is that you're doing politically advantageous things for us. Tinnitus is very looking much at the political situation, Tail like actually caring about you and kind of the stress you're under. And then Sister Tail says, well, hopefully that was helpful for you. I hope, Sister Denier, that maybe we could catch up and speak about how you're doing, how your mission is going. Tinnitus is like, I don't think that's necessary. It's not really intended for social calls. And Tail is like, well, then there is some things that Sister Denier is an expert on that I would like her opinion on. Sister, we have
I was
started.
like looking over, like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Yeah. Mhm.
Cal has that, like, when you're on the phone with somebody and, like, she's not doing it with her face, but you're like...
You can tell.
Motioning
Get
at
to
I mean, like...
Yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not an awkward time, but get to it.
I will do the, like, 10-year-old at a party, like, stop drinking! Stop doing drugs! Cal, what are you doing?
Sister, do I hear that you're partaking in drugs in the mortal world? No, I'm joking. But Sister Tail is like, yes, sister, you'll find this very interesting. I found a new fabric supplier, and he has. I have purchased some samples of a new textile blend that I think is very interesting. I'm doing sort of a pilot program now to see if we should replace our temple robes. It seems like while this is perhaps a little bit warmer than what we currently use, of course that's not what's important. To suffer is to live. Tinnitus is like, to suffer is to live. It does also seem to launder very easily and sort of repel stains. And with the kneeling and everything, it is very that would be very helpful for us. So I'm doing sort of this pilot program, and of course, once we get the results, I would love to speak to you about your thoughts. But when I ordered the yardage I needed...
Isla's gonna walk over and she's going to grab the necklace and say, people are dying, we have to go!
Oh my god. And Cal, like, yanks it. I mean, like, my god, goodness. Saints above, I am so sorry. These... And she's like, motioning, like, thank you.
We gotta go. And I'll like,
oh my god,
short
I am
of
so sorry.
grabbing
Please write me a letter, address it to the sanctuary.
Oh,
I should be returning immediately. I am incredibly interested. Ugh, it's fine.
Well,
my deepest apologies.
We gotta go.
I was just going to say that I've already wrote you a letter.
Oh, I will read it as soon as I return to the sanctuary.
Brother, would you mind stepping away for just a moment? And Brother Tinnitus is like, well, I mean, she may have important religious questions. And Tail is like, no, we're just going to talk about fabric. It's fine. And he leaves. There's a little
Kyle grabs it and goes, menstrual cycle.
Tail talks to Cal and is like, I see what you were saying about the quality of your companions from the sanctuary.
She can hear these things, and she is threatening violence at this point. She's still saying all of this, like, God, and just being like...
Are we walking and talking, at least?
Yeah, we're walking.
Okay.
And it's like, yes, I know, God, wow. Goodness.
Sister Denier, do you trust this companion of yours to hear things that are private to you?
No. Send me a letter. We will get to it.
Isle runs ahead. Isle's like, whatever, and leaves. Like...
I only wish to inform you that I have sent you a letter and some packages, including some packages that remind me of ones you used to receive about 30 years ago. I just thought that was something you would like to know. I forwarded those to the sanctuary for you.
I will open those as immediately as I can. I
of course
appreciate the insight. I
thought that was...
will use that to hasten this journey.
I thought that was something you might appreciate, not being overheard by Brother Tittentus or your companion.
Don't worry, she's not very bright. She's not going to be able to put any of this together.
Excellent. Well,
Please give.
Isle throws a rock back. Cal.
She dodges. She's like, please tell Brother Tinnitus I am literally under attack. I apologize deeply for not being able to do proper goodbyes. However, this one is literally feral. I will
make sure he
tell all of it in a letter. There's a seal. Oh my saints.
Like a wax seal?
No,
a
like an
mess-
animal seal.
Oh, strange. Well, goodbye, dear. May the saints keep you.
Goodbye. May the saints keep you. Thank you.
Hangs up.
So you never speak, but the rest of them never shut the fuck up.
I.
Hey, we gotta go.
Patrick's
we
like,
gotta go.
Yeah.
no, I'm putting out breadcrumbs. Do not hang
I don't
up the
care.
phone
This is
call."
not the time for the plot. This is time for the other plot.
Gal picks up her
Your
robes
character
and
development.
sprints after Isla.
Yeah. As we then cut back to Metal and Fish, Martin is walking back and telling you about some really interesting tests you can do, sort of lines of research. And then he says, "Oh, actually, I was just kind of digging around nearby, and one of the benefits of you know this. I don't need to explain this, but one of the benefits of when people live in places for a long time, you just get layers of settlement. I think I actually found something just outside town that is very exciting. It's not particularly relevant to my research, but hopefully it'll be relevant to yours. Do you mind if we just take a quick detour?"
Guys, he's gonna kill us. This is not going well.
I'm going to say each of you can roll an insight check.
I'm gonna do that right now. Fuck. 10.
17.
Okay. With the 17, he seems fairly genuine, like this is an actual thing. He's excited to show you about. You get a little bit of like, maybe he doesn't want you to go straight home. Maybe he's like slightly delaying for some reason or wants to take you down a certain path. Like there is a thing that seems to be true and he's excited to show it to you, but he may also want you to like go to his house by a different route or something like that.
Okay. We would absolutely love to see it, Martin. However, I just remembered that I needed to pick up a hammer from the hardware store. And so, Charlise, would you please just stay here and keep Professor Greer company? Of course, be very polite to him. And I will be back momentarily. I just have some supplies to pick up. Can I get anything for you?
Metal's like looking at Fish like...
No, I think I'm good. Anything for you, Charlise? No? Okay, we'll just wait here for you. You're still like kind of in a public space, on the street corner, and you kind of rush across to the hardware store, and you
Get a hammer. Anything.
You step out. Both Martin and Charlise are kind of looking at the hardware store, and Metal hears a little rustle of a coat and then something pressed against her back. And in a very conversational voice, he says, I don't think there is a Dr. Carlisle. PCA.
I didn't want to say it, but you guys fall for the oldest fucking trick in the book. If they bring up a name, you never say, "Oh yeah, I know that guy," because they're intentionally trying to fuck you.
Especially when we made
We're
it to
also
school.
dumb.
Yeah, Also,
You could've
when
said
you came to the door
Australia.
and
You
first
could've
told
said
that
you were
lie,
from-
he got an insanely high insight
Oh,
check.
God.
High enough to trick even Cal, who was watching.
We're dead. Okay.
Mads, I'm so
Why
sorry I
did
just
you
got metal
leave
killed.
her?
Mads, I'm
Yeah,
so
R.I.P.
sorry.
Thrones F3.
Okay.
Setting fire is all I'm saying.
I was literally gonna say, oh god.
Why don't we take a walk? And he just sort of puts a hand on your arm and tries to like steer you away from Main
Don't
Street.
touch my girl.
And he did roll very highly in his sleight of hand check, so he is hiding the weapon from kind of view under his coat, and no one can see it, not even you. You just kind of feel it.
If you're
Oh
in
my
public, just scream.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's trying to touch me.
Exactly.
So-
Scream and bite him.
Can I
That's-
just can Fish glance back and notice that they're moving?
Perception check.
Okay. 21, bitch.
You are going into the hardware store. You've crossed the street. You open the door. You look in and see Sarah and Kekino, and and Sarah just goes, "What the hell is he doing?" And you turn around and you can see that the position has shifted and they're starting to move away from you. And Sarah looks confused, but not necessarily concerned. But Kekino is kind of like, Martin killed Tenna, killed people bad, and it's kind of like wiggling to try and like get back into your arms.
Thanks, bud.
Ah, says Fish, and grabs. Okay. Would you real quick describe the interior of the hardware store?
Hardware
Like, is there something that they can just fucking grab?
You came in. There's some like axe handles for repair that are kind of close to the door. You're kind of in the kind of in like the tool section. So if you want to throw, if you want to like, grab like a drill and throw it at him or something like that, you certainly can. Nothing that would make a particularly good weapon other than like the axe handles, which we could say are like a club. Everything else would be like an improvised weapon. But yeah, you can grab something pretty quick.
I'd like to grab an axe handle
Mhm.
and in the same movement just go and shuffle around in my pocket and take out another gold nugget and just like throw it at the wall.
You
and
deserve
then
it.
go and go, come on, let's go. We gotta go.
There is someone at the counter who has just been like reading a magazine and not paying attention to you at all, and here's like ching ching as something hits the wall and is just kind of like, what? And then you are out of there. Are you just like charging across the street?
Yes.
Okay.
Because Fish's reaction to this information, oh, yeah, okay, he definitely killed fucking Tenna. Get away from my friend! Just sprinting, like, hey, yo, hey.
Mm-hmm.
Metal's gonna be like, he knows!
He knows! He knows! He rolled kind of low on his perception check, so he's focused on kind of keeping Metal moving and keeping other people from like realizing something weird is happening. He managed to get most of the way across the street and get within like 10 feet of him before he kind of realizes that you're charging at him, and he spins around and puts Metal between the two of you like a hostage.
This is a nightmare.
Yeah.
Metal's gonna be like, listen, you don't know what you're getting into, okay? And then she's gonna just like light up her hand with fire. That's like,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
just threateningly.
And so, holding this axe handle, I don't have a prop, but like smacking it like a club, like
Yeah.
they didn't have any hammers.
Give me, both of you, give me an intimidation check.
Listen,
Yeah.
fire's scary,
Or
okay?
one of you roll with advantage. Either or.
I think we'll both do it.
Yeah, we both have our own
We have
individual
different
ones.
weapons.
Oh, piss! Guess which one of the two numbers it was?
Dude, oh my god.
Guess which one of the two numbers he rolled to resist it.
Wait, no! I got a dirty
No.
20. I got a dirty
No.
20.
Okay.
Okay,
He got
well,
a natural 20. His
shit.
charisma's not super
Oh
high.
my
So,
god! Literally, this is
Yeah.
insane. I literally got
My-
15 plus 5.
yeah,
I've got
and he
myself
got a
9
20 plus
total.
1. So,
How? No! Listen, bro, aren't you scared of being burned? Metals have taken offense to this. Like,
he sees fish. He sees fish smacking the club. Sarah is running behind and is actively trying to ready her rifle, but it's kind of like jamming for just a second, and then she gets it loaded and like lifted up to him, and then he looks at you in the with a fire in your hand, and he says, "You really think I'm an idiot? I know what you can do," and slaps your hand down so the fire extinguishes, and you can hear him cock the shotgun.
my god. Okay. This is not good.
I'd like to throw the thing at his head. The handle.
Okay.
Metal
have another.
duck! Metal duck!
Give me.
That is such a slim chance.
Let me first of all get some like more exciting music happening.
Oh my god.
Um,
I'm good.
and I will say, give me the attack roll with no, not with disadvantage. Just give me an attack roll to chuck the axe handle at him.
Okay. 9.
You throw it that is far enough away that it just kind of wings to the side into the bushes next to him. But you see him flinch a little bit, and you realize that if he flinches, he might pull the trigger.
Oh no.
Oh,
okay.
Well,
That kind of messes up my
and
plan.
his fish reacts in that order to having that thought, which is like, I made you flinch. Oh fuck! Don't do that.
I was thinking that Metal could cast Earth Tremor and try to get us both to fall down. What are the odds that he accidentally kills her in the process?
It is so. The way this is working mechanically, just in case this changes your mind, is I am going to roll a d6. Odd numbers, his finger slips off the trigger. Even numbers, it pulls the trigger.
Guys, I'm sweating. Oh no. Okay, so basically anything we do is probably gonna just like be whatever. Like,
It's
You could
certainly
offer
possible.
him the liquid. I don't know if that is still, if he still thinks that's real.
Valid.
Actually, you can see that in holding your arm down to like extinguish the fire and like keep a hand on you and start pulling you back, he doesn't have any more hands free, but he is like looking around like for that liquid, like
He
where
wants
did you
that
put it?
shit.
You can like throw it to try and
He
throw it
craves
fit,
that
or
mineral.
like be like, I'll break it.
Yeah, Metal's gonna try and like sneak her hand into her bag to just like toss it to Fish so that it's out of
Give me a sleight of hand check.
Okay. I don't like rolling for things. I just want him to go well.
I know.
Okay.
Will I roll to catch?
Okay, I rolled it's a 12.
You manage to get it out. He does see it, but not soon enough to be able to stop you. He rolled higher than you, but not very high. So you slip it out of your pocket, underhand it to Fish, Fish grabs it and he's like, no, fine, and he keeps pulling you back a little bit, and he turns and looks at Fish, now disarmed. He looks at Sarah, pointing a rifle at him, back at Fish,
Oh,
and his eyes for just a moment spark with emerald deep inside of it. And I need Fish to roll a wisdom saving throw with disadvantage.
not good.
Oh no.
I can't believe Cal's literally on the phone right now. She's like, yeah, I love fabric.
Yeah.
God
thank
damn
you.
it!
My God.
Okay. With advantage and wisdom wisdom.
No,
is
with
plus 2,
disadvantage.
Oh, with disadvantage. Okay.
Yes.
Then that
Once-
means
Once per day, Martin can choose a target, and that person rolls their next saving throw with disadvantage.
Rude.
You'll recall that's also something that happened to Cal when you were in the woods. Weird.
So funny. I wonder if he did it.
7.
7.
Yeah.
You feel yourself
I can't even think of
slip into a mindset that you remember with horror. And Metal watches your tattoos start to bleed slightly, turning into a symbol. Face goes gaunt to rapidly lose fat, and you are so hungry. It's not happening quite yet. You know he is going to make you turn around and try to bite Sarah.
Holy
in the next
shit.
moment. And you can use your reaction to try to get some space from her or them, or try to do something. But this was his distraction, and he nailed it.
Okay. Just real quick, so we're in the street.
Yep.
And he's got Metal here, and then Fish here, and then Sarah can just be back there.
Yeah.
If I yell at Metal to get the fuck out of the way, and then sprint at him, can I weaponize this and just eat his face off?
You know that along with the hunger comes a compulsion for a specific person. It's not that you attacked Sarah because you had this feeling and she was closest. It's because someone who cast the spell on you, and who you now know is probably Martin, chose that to be your target. And that in essence, you are controlled for like a single attack against somebody nearby.
Okay. Then in that case, I'm gonna sprint just away, but to calling back to Sarah, if possible. Shoot me if I come near you. Goodbye.
Sarah's like, what? And then sees the mark on your head as you're running away, and it's just like, got it. Sets herself. Martin is dragging Metal farther down the alleyway between two buildings, getting farther away now, about 30 feet from Sarah, going to 35, backing up. Sarah sees what happened to Fish, knows enough about the previous attack not being Fish's fault to be like, oh, something happened and I need to stop it. I'm just going to see what decision she makes. Yeah, that's what I thought she would do. She looks at Fish trying to get away. She looks at Martin and Metal, and she looks at Metal's eyes, and she mouths to her, "I'm sorry." And then she pulls the trigger, trying to shoot Martin in the head from over her shoulder.
Oh, fucking Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
God.
How close are we right now running?
Yeah,
You guys,
are
if
taking
you
a
run
while.
if you are walking, you'll get here
We're
within.
running.
If let me clarify. If you're walking, you will get here in about 5 minutes. If you're running, it's more like 2 minutes.
We've been running.
Yeah. So you're not quite here yet, but you are pretty close. Let me just. Yep. Okay.
I'm gonna get shot either way. Maybe I should just do something. Like,
Entirely up to you. I just need to roll some dice for some things that are happening.
I think Metal's gonna use Earth Tremor and try to knock
Okay.
us both off our feet. Or at least, him.
Okay, give me just 1 second then.
Okay.
That sounded serious.
You're
That was
taking
me
your
mostly
crossbow
putting
out?
down dice. I had to find the correct dice. Okay.
We're like so good at this. We did really good. Like, we failed as soon as he was like, "Hello." We lost.
At least Team Violence got shit done.
B
Can
team
you
is the
imagine
real
if we fucked our
Until we-
investigation and you
yeah.
guys had no indication that this was gonna go
Mhm.
south?
As Sarah mouths to you, "I'm sorry," she lines up a shot and pulls the trigger. You feel the wind of it pass by your hair, and behind you, Martin goes, "Fuck! Ah!" And you hear a clatter as the shotgun falls out of his hand, and he takes a significant amount of damage because she critted on that shot.
Yeah, girl!
Metal's gonna dive for the gun.
Okay. Metal's going to dive for the gun. He's going to dive for it too. Give me a contested athletics or acrobatics.
Okay.
He is a little bit faster than you, so he's going to get a very slight bonus on this.
You
Rude.
get shot.
Okay. 14.
He got a 17. So he manages to push you back, grab the gun, and kind of push you off him. But he is not in a position to try to shoot you or anyone, and he is now very injured, having taken 16 points of damage from that shot. And so he turns around and he just starts sprinting away from you. That then becomes Fish's turn. You feel a little bit of a weakening. Actually, no. Let me double check that. Yeah. When he was shot, he lost concentration on the spell. You
Thank God.
back to normal, and you feel yourself get better. And he is booking it away from you.
Okay. Could I roll a quick perception just to get a readout on the layout of things?
Yeah, absolutely. Just a free action. Like a perception check.
Oh. Okay, that didn't count because it fell off the table. 13.
Okay.
Wait,
Uh,
plus 2. Ah! Oh no! It's 15.
You never know.
You know. With a 15, you can see that he is running in kind of a straight line. So there is a little bit kind of in the way as he's dodging and weaving just a bit of like putting like trash cans and some other stuff between him and the rest of you. But he is mostly running in a straight line. So Sarah could probably get another shot off if she rolled pretty high. He does seem to be moving a lot faster than is normal. Like, you know how fast you run. You know how fast
that bitch
I'll
is
run.
transforming.
He is running faster. He doesn't seem to be changing physically at all, but last you saw, his eyes were still green and his speed is increased. You see that the street you're on it's kind of the main street. The buildings here are mostly brick instead of wood, and so there's some cover if you need it. There are some people coming out of the stores around there because they just heard a gunshot in downtown, and being a rural community with bears, everybody kind of knows what a rifle shot sounds like, and that was really, really close. And you actually, also with a 15, see that while he's not quite here yet, you can see through the glass double doors that a police officer from the civic center next to the library is running out towards where the shot came from.
Okay. I know we're not like in the battlefield technically, but how much movement do I have, like, to get out of the way of people seeing?
You think that maybe one or two people may have gotten a glance at you already, but not really a good look. You think you can hide, like you can break view and kind of hide somewhere.
It's not me specifically I don't want them to see. It's the blasphemous dart I'm gonna shoot in the back of this motherfucker's head.
Gotcha. Yeah. If you can use your 30 feet of movement to get somewhere where you are out of line of sight of these people, but without hide action, you won't be able to, like, they'll know where you went, basically. They just won't be able to actually see you. So that's fine.
Whatever, as long as I don't see the shot. So I'm sprinting past Sarah into the alley and just as far as it'll take me, and then just blam, get this bitch.
Okay. And you do not roll attack because it hits automatically so long as it is in range. What is the range on blasphemous darts?
100 feet.
He's just in 100 feet. I assume you hit him with both darts?
Yep, with both. Just
go ahead and roll damage on that.
Okey doke. Get my... Oh no, terrible time not to have my D4 ready.
Who would have thought it would have come to this, you know?
Yep. Us if we figured it out.
Everything's fine. I was actually wondering, how's this going to resolve if he doesn't know we're messing with him?
Like this.
Alright, I've rolled a 4 on the D4, plus 1 force damage, it says.
Okay, so 5 force damage for one dart, and then for the second dart.
Oh, again? Okay, cool.
Yep.
2. So 3.
So 3. Total of 8 damage. You see it just go right into kind of his side, and he stumbles and trips a little bit. You see him kind of obviously bleeding. It's unknown to you at this distance whether it's from what you did or what Sarah did, or a combination of both. But he seems pretty damaged. And as he stumbles, he turns back around for a second, and you see the eyes, and he sees you being the closest because you ran past metal to get a good shot. and he does something, and I need you to roll another wisdom saving throw. This one is not with disadvantage because you
Okay.
burned that.
God damn it.
I am using my speeches reaction just to go fuck you, fuck you, fuck you,
Yeah.
fuck you.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
21.
21.
Hey.
You feel a wave of fear start to clutch at you, and for just a moment, you think you can smell something that brings you back to your childhood in New Zealand, and then it breaks on your mental defenses, and it's gone. And
I'm not hungry.
he's still running away. This was not hunger. This was the other one, making you see your worst fear.
I'm not scared.
I'm not
That's
scared.
last.
No.
Yeah.
I hate that.
I have to find the vine. I'm sorry, everyone.
Pause for mine.
Fish would absolutely be in the middle of a boss battle and be like, "Wait, you have
There's
to
a
see this
vine for this."
It's really good."
Yeah.
Here we go. I think I found it. Oh no, it's not the actual. No. Yep. Okay, there was some seeds to it, but we all
Valid, so
understand what
valid.
it is.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, I'll check out the channel after the session, just to be like, oh, hey, thank you.
What is Metal doing?
Metal's booking it after Fish and Martin.
Okay.
And she's gonna throw a firebolt because it has 120 foot range.
Yep.
She's gonna do that.
Okay.
Be like, Martin, stop! And just like,
By the time you run down, you will have heard a door slam open. You would have seen the police officer run for it, so you can't see him yet, and he can't see you, but he is now like out here. Go ahead and give me the attack roll for that firebolt.
okay, yeah. On the other page, it's 15.
15?
Yeah.
With a 15, let me just double check something very quickly. Yeah, that works. With a 15, you hit him. The firebolt kind of splashes against his back, and you can see his coat kind of moldering for just a second. Give me damage.
It's 1d10. Yeah. God, which one is the d10? I found it. Wait, that can't be. Wait, which one is the 10? No!
It is fucked up double pyramid.
Okay. That looks about right. 5.
Okay. With 5 damage, you char him. He seems to be doing pretty badly. He's still really booking it, and now he's kind of far away, but still within shooting range of Sarah. So let's see what she's doing. She, to clarify, is not running from the cop. She has just cycled her weapon and is now going to shoot him again. But she misses it. She fires again, and then you can hear her kind of swear to herself as it goes wide. And Martin is cleared the main street, cleared the street after it. He is getting into a little bit more rugged terrain. Still the town, but more stands of trees. And as he approaches a specific one, you all watch as some emerald lightning seems to play over him for just a moment, and he stops and he twitches, and he stands up and stretches his neck and seems perfectly fine, and he turns around and looks at you, glowing green eyes from a distance, and then above him in the tree, glowing green eyes from the Ghost Eater. And the Ghost Eater disappears, and Martin turns and keeps running. And he is now in kind of the beginning of the woods, and any attacks against him would be still possible, but have a much lower chance of success as kind of the trees get in the way.
I would love Collisionist and Isle to appear.
Yeah.
That'd
And
be really great.
Hey girls, hey girlies.
about the time that that he gets away would be about the time that they show up. So yeah, Cal and Isle, you were running for the others. You heard a gunshot and then another one, and picked up any extra speed you have to just really pump it in there and run down Main Street, and you find Fish and Metal walking out of an alleyway, and Sarah talking to a police officer, just going, "Yeah, there was a bear. Yeah, no, I scared it off. No, it's fine.
There's a really
Yeah,
big
it's fine
bear.
now." And he's like, the officer is clearly frustrated, but also like can't really question her story, and just kind of takes his notebook and angrily stomps off to talk to some other potential witnesses. You guys are all together again.
Isla is extremely pissed as soon as she realizes, like, that he got away.
I am fuming also. Fish is just fucking just going off, being like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill him! I'm gonna go kill him! Let me go! Let me go kill him!" No one is actually holding Fish back. Anyway,
Yeah.
no, let me go! I'll fucking do it! I'll kill that motherfucker!
Metal is just like really devastated and upset, but she's very quiet about it.
Yeah.
Can I
Oh,
just
what a piece of
very
shit. I hate that guy so much.
Can I very calmly just roll Arcana and see if I can see any, like, traces of where things have gone or anything like that?
Yeah, go for it.
I think we should charge the woods.
I'd be down for that, honestly.
Just like pitchforks, let's go.
That's a 21.
With a 21, you get sort of a sense of the kind of where he was standing when he used these magical effects on Fish, but nothing that can like really track him or lead you to him or anything. Nothing kind of unusual.
We set the woods
Also,
on
I would
fire.
like to point out to everyone just a quick mechanical note. When you make an attack against someone who you are grappling, it is with advantage, which means that had Martin shot Metal in the back, that would have been 2d20, which would have been a 13 to hit. Does that hit?
Probably. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it exactly hits actually.
Okay. But he doesn't crit, so that's fine. So it's only 3d6 damage because he's so close to you.
Oh, sure.
How does... Honestly, not terrible. 9 damage.
He would have
I'm
survived.
fine.
Survived.
I got 20. You know. I
If
should just
only-
get shot.
Oh my god, should we have all been together? I'm so, like...
We should have gone with the murder plan B.
There was...
Choice you guys made. He, to give...
Patrick froze for me. I don't know if he
Maybe
froze.
full
for
of
you
shit.
guys.
I
We're
didn't
jamming
hear
it.
Yeah, no, I
Okay,
heard
well,
you, Patrick, through the room. Nobody picked you up through the actual mic.
Oh, do I need to leave and come back?
No, I think it's fixed.
you're good. Yeah.
Just
Oh, okay.
paused.
It just roboted. So what did you just say?
Oh, okay, cool. He rolled really, really high to see that you guys were full of shit when you first met, and some of the stuff about like the school you were from. And then after that, when you kept being like, "Oh, we really like you, we really respect you. Here's this cool stuff. Look at this. We're gonna help you." He just kept rolling like shit over and over and over and over again. So you actually kind of like he thought you were wrong, and he was going to like ambush you somewhere. But you were so good at like playing with his emotions that he actually started to doubt whether he had read you accurately or not. And he's like, maybe there is a Dr. Carlisle and I just don't know. Maybe he's new. Maybe I haven't met him. And so he made that phone call to confirm with the school whether you were students there and whether a Dr. Carlisle was there. Because you were so good at convincing him, you like brought him around to doubting himself.
We're good. You
We
know,
have stuck
Should've
together.
slapped that shit out of his head.
What if we had? I'm so mad. What if we had just killed him when he was in his Martin?
there's so many options. You know, there's so many options.
Yeah.
Robot take.
First of all, Fish is, to Sarah, if she's receptive to, hearing them speak, you're right. We should have just gone and fucking shot him in the face. You're right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We should have killed him. I hate that man. I hate that man.
Yeah.
Where's my
No,
son?
I was right. But I did kind of shoot him in the fucking face. That was pretty cool, right? You saw that shot? Yeah. Well, looks like it's time for a grand old clan tradition. And without an insight check, Fish, you can tell that she has moved beyond anger to like nirvana of anger. She is totally calm, collected. Everything makes sense. Martin is going to be taken apart like a butchered chicken when she finds him. She is so mad. And so she just goes, we're going to get the clan together, and we're going to have a hunt.
Yep.
I'll kind of like readies her spear in solidarity.
Yeah.
She knows that they don't mean right now, but like she's like, yeah, we're gonna fucking get this bitch.
Cal's super like disassociating. You realize like she's not even like following this conversation.
I was thinking about those packages. Those
Package.
What are they?
Sister's fucking bones.
Yeah, maybe.
A singular bone in each package.
A tooth.
Sarah takes a really long look at the direction that Martin ran, kind of like struggling with herself, and then turns and starts walking back to where the clan houses are to like gather up more people. Very much like if I was not the responsible person for like organizing our reinforcements, I would just go follow him and try to kill him myself. So yeah, she's kind of ignoring you guys, just walking off back to where the clan is hanging out and housed. You guys can do what you want. You can see that the street is still kind of a little bit in uproar because people are like, she said there was a bear? Is a bear in downtown? Oh my god. And the officer is still kind of like taking statements and kind of like calming people down and figuring out what's what. Yeah, and it's up to you guys what you want to do in this moment.
Battle's just gonna be like, guys, I'm really sorry. I feel like it was my fault. I shouldn't have put myself in that position. I don't know.
I was going to say, no, we were all stupid.
When you say that, Metal, Fish goes, and like not consulting or anything, which is not very polite of them, but like just scoops into a hug and goes, I'm so fucking sorry, I just left you.
I love that Fish was like, I have to go buy a hammer. I'll be back. That's like iconic, actually. Metal's like, no, I feel like I should have been paying more attention, but she's like, I kind of didn't want to be hugged though. It's just like,
Oh my god. Do you and hold on here? Just say that he's my son.
she's actually like so upset. She
Kicking up, like wraps you up with his slippers. You can feel your blouse ever so slightly start to dampen, and he's just like, "I'm sorry, Metal's scared."
she
I think Isle's going to actually walk away and like go stand next to Sarah. She knows that shit is fucked, and she is going to. This is her like. It's not an olive branch, but it's her like putting aside her shit, and she walks up and stands like with Sarah. She doesn't look at her. She just goes, "We're gonna kill that motherfucker."
We are gonna kill that motherfucker. And the two of you kind of walk off together towards the clan houses. Anything else you guys want to do, or what you want to, kind of the direction you want to go?
Just that Fish, once sort of like their brain starts working again. But when did it stop? A while ago. Anyway.
Couple days.
It never starts.
Yeah. They go, "Oh, Dania, what happened with you? Are you okay?"
I think Mooney walked away from the computer for just a moment.
Okay. That's
Cal's
fine.
absolutely silent, which is even.
No,
Yeah.
Cal just doesn't respond, and so Fish
This
is like,
in character.
"Oh, she's
Can we?
she's not even seeing."
Actually, Metal doesn't know because she doesn't know you guys got like the evidence, and you were like, he definitely did it. Can Metal be like, wait, so what did you guys find? Like, did you find evidence? And
Fish will. Kekano's still in her arms, but Fish can be like, "Oh well." So I got close enough to that I could hear the thing, and he said that they found, and yeah, he's a murderer. Obviously.
yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Okay.
What do you guys do?
Does Cal Mooney? Fish asked Cal if they were doing all right. Does Cal respond at all?
Yeah, I heard that. Sorry, I'm not feeling well. And I don't know if it's like anxiety, panic, or actually sickness.
Yeah.
I think Cal. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with it. And Cal is still like fully just like woman doing math memes. She's doing calculations and plotting and running over the conversation with Sister Tail, and does not seem to have any awareness that any of you guys are there.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, yeah. It just right now it's like go get weapon, go get weapon with people, go into wood, kill man.
Yeah,
that's the plan.
Yeah, I think there's nothing much to it after that.
Yeah,
and if you want to try to shop in town for more equipment, or you want to I don't know, send somebody to try to track down where they went and get an idea of that, or whatever. There's a lot of things you can do to kind of prepare for the hunt, but yeah, it's entirely up to you guys.
I think Isle's gonna try to pull that tree climbing trick again, see if she can kind of see any sort of path.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a acrobatics check or athletics.
Yeah, that was an at one.
Okay. You go to the stand of trees that the ghost eater appeared out of, and you go to climb it, and then realize that the tallest tree, none of the branches are anywhere near the bottom. So you go for the next tallest tree, and you try to climb it, and then you slip because one of the branches breaks. And then you go for a different tree, and its branches are just too interwoven with the one next to it, and you get like physically jammed up between them. So you gotta bail on that one. Yeah, and you just totally biff it, just over and over and over again.
If I turn into a squirrel, would I have to roll?
If you turn into a squirrel, I would allow you to roll again.
Okay.
I will say normally, if you turn into a squirrel the first time, no roll.
Yeah.
If you turn into a squirrel now, I will let you retry.
Yeah. Let's desperately. This is a desperate move for Isle. She will turn into a squirrel.
Gotcha.
Fish is gonna go and like stand at the tree just in case, just like she needs catching.
She doesn't want to be witnessed. No.
Oh, okay, fine.
Do not look at this woman turn into a tiny squirrel.
Not
It's too cute.
I rolled an 18, and that's going to be. Plus 2 is a 20.
Okay. With a dirty 20, you just immediately just skitter up the tree, get to the top. You can get much higher than you can as a full-grown woman because you're much lighter. You get all the way to the very waving tip of the tree, and you can see out into the woods. Because you're doing this so soon after they got away,
Maybe I should have done it later. Oh well.
No, because you're doing this so soon after they got away, give me a perception check with advantage.
Okay.
Because there may still be more obvious signs of them passing through, or trees moving in the forest as they go through, or something like that.
15.
With a 15, you see a couple of places they kind of could have gone, but in the direction that they seem to be traveling when you lost sight of them, there is kind of a little bit of a break in the underbrush that would make a good entrance into the woods. So it's most likely they went in there, and that gives you kind of a starting point for potentially tracking them later.
I will transform, hopefully make sure no one's around, scamper down and transform back.
Down the tree and transform. And yeah, do you just want to head back to the clan houses and ready yourself for this hunt?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Cal is looking through her notebooks and trying to see if she has any sort of tracking sigil in her notes.
No, because there's not, at least not something is a tracking sigil, just because it's not kind of what the necromancers focus on. Like,
not even like find undead?
No, but if you roll me a high enough Arcana check, I can say that you can really kludge together clearly this is not the intended purpose of these symbols, but kind of a find undead.
That's a dirty 20.
Okay. Dirty 20, let me make some rolls on my end. Yeah.
I had a question, but then Noodle looked at me and my thoughts went away.
He stole your thoughts. He went to you and went, and he broke your brain.
I did see that happen in a lifetime.
Mm-hmm. With your roll plus the difficulty that I set, you are able to kind of combine a series of sigils that you've never seen combined before in your notes, but you kind of sort of know what they do. And you think most likely, based on your understanding, it'll create an effect where it's not so much like find undead as it will be like react to presence of undead. And so you basically like combine the anti-undead shield that Fish made last night with some like things that are based on like proximity and stuff that's based on like weakness. So you make like weaken the undead shield to give it like a larger range. You just make this like absolutely an abomination of a combination of sigils that a symbol mage would hate with every fiber of their being. But you create something that you think if it was carved and activated with enough talent would function kinda sorta like a find undead. Okay. Do you head back to the clan?
Is there anything at the house that we need? Martin's house? Because he's not going back there. I think we should camp that. We should send some people to stay there.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
We could do that. Should we go back to the house we're staying at, and then we'll find some people to do the stakeout, and then we'll just do general preparations.
Cry? Maybe?
Yeah, I was gonna say cry. I was gonna say cry, but we don't have time to cry.
I think that's a good plan. I think Isle wants to return any of the stuff that was stolen from Tenna's museum to whoever. I don't know if that would be someone in the clan or like Catherine, but like get those in safe hands pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have to take kind of a different route than the others if they're headed back to the clan lands. You got to separate for about 10 minutes just to get these to Catherine. She is at her house getting some stuff after spending the night in the hotel, and she greets you very warmly, and she's like, I recognize all of this. And it seems very like nervous with handling kind of like sacred, potentially delicate objects, but it's also like these are things Tenna traveled with, so it seems like they're probably not so fragile that I'm instantly going to break them, but she promises to get these safe and all set up for you. Do you also give her the murder weapon?
That I do not.
Hold on to that, and you don't even need to explain. She's just kind of happy to get all of the other stuff, and she's going to take care of it and get it to safety. You head back into where the clan is staying, and you can see them kind of gearing up. A lot of them getting weapons together, kind of getting stuff ready. And but most of them are not fighters. And once you get there, you see Chris and Sarah kind of organizing things. And if you would like to, you can tell Chris and Sarah, hey, we think maybe Martin will go back to his house. Might want to do some people to sit on it. Is that something that you would like to do?
Yes. Immediately.
Okay. He gets a couple people that are clearly kind of like, you know, a little bit on the younger side, looking a little bit nervous, carrying weapons and stuff like that. People that are like, they're fighters, but they're far less experienced. So you get kind of like the third string people where it's like, this is an important job, but you'll also be safe. And sends a couple of them out to stake out Martin's place. Sarah was on the phone when you come in, and she hangs up and looks at all of you, and she says, Elder Longfisher is bringing the full force of the clan here, and we're going to sweep from here as a starting point, and we're going to find this motherfucker, and we are going to put him in the goddamn ground.
Yep. Metal. What's the sanctuaries for a number?
Wait, did we ever figure that out?
You do know the Sanctuary's phone number, or at least
Okay,
the
cool.
phone number.
Call them.
Yeah.
Mel's gonna be like, yes, 555, and she's gonna go over to the phone.
Mm-hmm. You dial up the phone, and you get through to a voice that you recognize. Lee Stillwater just says, "Hello, you've reached the Mount Placer Hotel. How can I help you?"
I'm just gonna be like, oh my god, it's me, Metal.
Oh. Hey, Mets, what's up? Ooh, metal
Everything.
stress noise. Those are rare.
She's gonna be like, so, we have kind of gotten ourselves into a situation over here, and we would like to. Are we requesting backup? Is that what's happening? Is that
Yeah. So
okay?
Fish is standing beside her, not actually like saying anything, but just kind of being moral support, like hand hovering near shoulder, like fuck, you know. But like, yeah, just ask for everyone.
I feel like backup. I feel like we won't have time for actual backup. I think we can let them know what's going on, but I doubt because we traveled for like a week to get here, right?
No, you
Valid.
traveled for a day and a half.
Oh,
But we took a lot of different vehicles.
yeah.
Yeah. At least tell them what's
Yes.
happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they want to
Uh,
come, that'd be great.
Yeah, Metal's gonna be like, yeah, so some really intense things are happening. We could use backup if that's possible. Otherwise, here's our whereabouts. And she just kind of is gonna be like, give him like the most basic, quick rundown, as in there's a big scary monster, and it's all kind of going to help. But she's handling it. But yeah,
Samuel is very like you can hear him writing, but he's very
my guy.
like shit, Metal. I mean, thanks. You're not supposed to tell me. You know, I'm just like keeping the morals from calling. Let me transfer you, and transfers you down to the someone in administration who you talk to again, and he puts you on hold for a moment, comes back, gets a little more details, puts you on hold for a moment, comes back, and says, I've been told we can designate some of our forces maybe as early as tomorrow if we receive permission from the clan. If you'll give me just one moment, we'll call, checks his notes, Elder Longfisher, and get back to you. Just one moment. Is this a good number to reach you?
Yes.
Click.
I'm on hold.
5 minutes pass. Phone rings, and instantly pick it up. Same guy, and is like, we have received official permission to send 2 agents as support. They will be traveling to, you said you're in Chisasibi. Yep, okay, I got that here. They'll be teleporting in tomorrow morning.
I simply think they could teleport now, but that's just my opinion. She's like, okay. Well,
Also,
Say hi to Dean for me.
just to confirm, this is Agent Metalvaunt, correct?
yes.
Can you give me your call sign, please? You don't have one. You're supposed to have one as an agent, but this was so like last minute that you don't.
She's gonna give a fake one that she's just gonna make up on the spot.
He's like, I'm not seeing that here. Oh, is that there? Yeah? Okay, just hold on one moment. And you you hear the phone taken away, and Dean from Cleveland's voice of being like, "Hey, Metal, yeah, we forgot to give you a call sign."
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm gonna really like one when I come back. I'll decide on that. But if
No,
you could just
we'll take care of it. Don't worry.
Okay,
But
great.
the secure message we had for you is from Administrator Tone. Let's see. He says, tinnitus information confirmed. Full debrief upon return. Not totally sure what that means, but yeah, there you go.
Okay.
All right. Metal, you doing all right?
Metal's she's in that mode where like she's okay, but if someone asks her if she's okay, then that's when she starts
Just start crying.
She's like, yes, everything's fine. I look forward to seeing you all soon. Don't worry, the ceremony itself went great.
Oh, that's
Oh.
good to hear. I'll pass that on to the ambassador or the team.
Sort of a separate,
Yeah.
separate situation is happening.
I get it. Just hang in there, Metal, and we'll get those agents to you as soon as we can. All right. Stay strong.
Okay. Just gonna hang up.
Quick. Yeah, you got some support. Doesn't seem to be particularly fast, which is kind of weird.
It's simply because they're teleporters. I don't understand.
Yeah, and
anytime.
Yeah, and it's kind of a thing of like, maybe our teleporters are busy, or maybe there's some bureaucratic bullshit. It's hard to know about being like, is it totally bullshit that they're not coming till tomorrow, or is it just like them's the breaks when you work with this administration like this? Okay, as
Metal's gonna hang up. She's gonna hang up and be like, 2 people will be coming tomorrow.
Okay. Do you want to go talk to the kitten?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's gonna go check. She's gonna go check on little Swifty and just like pet her very gently, and think about all the different spells she's gonna cast very soon.
Yeah. Swifty is purring in your lap, starts kneading with the very needle-like kitten claws, pricking your skin over and over again, but seems very happy and a little bit comforted that you're kind of back. We will, unless there's any other preparations you want to make, we will move forward about 2 hours when it sounds like there is a large group of people outside. And when you look out the window, you see the entire clan, everyone you've ever met. Everyone is armed, and they are in like full battle regalia. You can see that everyone, including the elders, are here. You can see everyone that you know to be a warrior is actually wearing turquoise decorative war paint. You can see that although the other 2 elders don't, Elder Longfisher also has decorative war paint on, and the army has arrived, and they are going to join you. As much as Sarah has been organizing things so far, Elder Longfisher immediately takes over and starts breaking people up into squads and getting out some recent maps, organizing a very efficient seeming sweep of the woods, and I think we will get into hunting the Ghost Eater next time, because Vienna looks very sleepy.
Well, yeah.
I'm going down, folks.
Yeah.
Isle will also relay any information to Elder Longfisher about what she saw, and not say she was a squirrel.
Yeah. No, absolutely. You climbed up there as a human woman.
Very cool.
Elder Longfisher makes a notation on the map for where you designated. she knows the forest decently well. A lot of the younger people have been in and out of there all the time, know it much better. So people are discussing like exactly possible routes, be like, no, we probably would have got this way because it's kind of easy going downhill, but then it gets really steep here and like yada yada yada. And they're kind of dividing up like the paths people can take to search and like the most likely routes for people moving through the woods to go. And with that, they are all prepped, ready, reloaded, and ready to get shit done. And at our next session, we will commence the hunting of the Ghost Eater.
Boss battle.
Yep.
Let's go!
That was boss music noises.
Cool.
Well, as insane as that actually was, because we messed up everything, honestly, narratively, very fun. I kind of
Yes.
love the drama.
Shout out to Sarah for that sick ass shot.
That was
Oh,
a
yeah.
sick ass
That was
shot.
cool as hell. Oh my
I
god.
was genuinely like, okay, he is behind metal, so that's 3/4 cover. That means he gets +5 to his AC. Okay, and then I'm gonna roll it, and if it's this, then and she misses, and that means it hits metal instead. He's like complicated math for like how hard this shot was, and then I was like, natural 20 as an attack roll automatically hits no matter what. So it's all just worthless. She just fucking sniped over your shoulder. I was really rooting for Fish taking that axe handle and just winging it into his face. Unfortunately, biffed it just way too bad.
Yeah.
Maybe if there was an axe.
It would have been so good.
Very cool.
Now, I think all of that was brilliant. Patrick, wonderful storytelling as usual.
Always.
It really hit me, and I think that is part of what is making Fish so angry right now, which is like, oh my god, I was deceived, genuinely, and I'm the guy who
Someone got you, and you usually are the getter.
Yeah. And they're just like, he's so good. How did he do it? How did he do it?
He's just a dweeb. Honestly, Ink as Fish.
It's also really funny because his deception and stuff not very high. He just rolled very well.
20 and 5.
Yeah, 25.
The way Kekano gives Fish advantage, the Ghost Eater gives Martin advantage. If he's like, just standing creepily in the woods, he's like, yes, lie.
Yeah.
He does genuinely get a little bit of a stat boost when that is happening, yes.
I think, had Martin done rolled differently or whatever, Fish's lies, incredible. Just absolutely.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, amazing. Literally amazing. So good.
That was
I believed it.
He just got a nat 20 and nat 20 +4 on the insight to figure out that you were lying.
Yeah.
You did great. You did really great. It's not us. I think we sold it. Okay.
Oh yeah. Anyway, finally I hope to wrap up this Maurice B plot where they set up their niece with their research assistant.
Oh my gosh. Okay, is Maurice the first name or the last name?
It's a mononym.
Awesome. It's awesome. Thank God. I love. All right. Wonderful. Perfect.
Metal at that moment was like, oh yeah, I guess we should be using fake names. And then she was like, why does it rhyme?
And it's like, oh, I can tell you about the library later.
Oh god.
It's giving Deirdre Beardra vibes.
Yeah. Give me one moment, I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm
To
guessing
check that
on
Mooney's still alive.
Be
Yeah,
careful.
poor girl. Poor
I'm-
Mooney.
Thinking of the Balloony household.
Yes. I always forget that her legal internet last name is Balloony.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I met her as Prince Hans.
The duality of man.
Truly. Well and truly.
Oh goodness.
May I share with you two a short, not even an anecdote, but just like a little trivia fun fact about your friend Ink?
Yeah.
Sure.
My first internet nickname before Ink was Strike.
Ooh.
Very cool. Very cool.
Mhm.
Mine was dumb as hell. It was for fan fiction. And I was feather-headed feline, which yeah, huh? Yeah, but people would call me Feather for short, which was
Oh, that's very
No,
cool
that's cute.
too.
I like that.
I don't even identify as a cat. That was the warrior cats element of that situation, but
Mhm.
yeah.
I have no idea what's happening with this conversation.
They were talking about screen names and talking
Oh.
about how Vienna knew me as Prince Hans.
Yeah.
You
You
alive, Mooney?
okay?
No. I'm
Oh,
sorry
no.
for the accident.
Go get some rest.
Yeah. Dweeb.
She's just anxious, so
I'm just panicking about being sick and having to cancel my plans this week.
yeah,
I know.
especially to see Hosier. So we're going to dip and then get her COVID test, so she doesn't have to worry. But thank you guys for the very fun session.
It's okay. I'm gonna put you in a little hamster ball and you're gonna run around Hosier. It'll be great.
Yeah, no,
Absolutely.
genuinely, you can do that.
Alright. Good night, everybody.
Goodbye.
night.
Bye.